So I was dating this girl. I thought she was out of my league. Now what happened was that I'm dating her and I'm really happy with her. And like I'm like, okay, this is the end, right? वो childhood love होता है. So that was happening, and then I got to know that she's cheating on me with all of my friends.
All of your friends.
All.
All right, before we deep dive into what you exactly do, let's talk about the real heroes of your journey. Those are the bros, the men. How are they exactly doing? I mean, all over. Are they struggling? Are they thriving? Or somewhere in between? What's up with
I
them?
mean, it's all about your perception on how you perceive things, right? So some guys, they think that, okay, I want a girl, I want a date, I want a relationship, and they're struggling with that. And then they come to the program. There was this one guy who came to the program, and now he's dating multiple girls, and he's like, bro, I cannot manage this, and he shifted his city because he was struggling with that, and he sort of, I think it was also like he just got so many women, and I told him not to do what he did, which is like he's like I'm getting attached to this, I'm getting attached to her, I'm getting attached to her. I can't help it because he had never gotten good reactions from women. अब क्या हुआ कि now the girls have more leverage on him, like they're coming to his place unannounced. He's with another girl. बंदा पकड़ा गया दो बारी. Got had to move. So now that's his struggle. So I think everyone is struggling at different levels. It's just how you look at things. But there's beauty in the struggle. You got to find that beauty, and then your perception about this, your mindset changes.
And what about the mental health? I mean, everybody's struggling about mental health so much. And especially when we talk about men, it's very hard to figure out what exactly are they up to. So, since you are the person who are dealing with such sort of people on the daily basis, so again, the question is same: how are men doing in another way, in the mental case, in the mental level or the mental health case?
I think after COVID, right, this is like a rise I saw in like mental health. I think it's also about like the keywords getting famous on Google and stuff. और सब लोगों ने बोलना शुरू कर दिया कि mental health is not looked upon, and for especially for men, we cannot talk to. I cannot talk to my friend like, oh, this girl, I really like her, and this is what is happening. That's not the conversations we have.
Yes.
हमारी conversation होती है भाई business कैसे चल रहा है? It's all good,
Yeah.
right? Oh, let's go party. Let's have fun. Those are the conversations we have. It's very surface level. We cannot go deeper. The moment you go deeper, you're perceived as weak, right? And it's not only with friends; it's also with family. So I think that takes a toll on a guy's mental health if he's not conditioned his mind, you know. So I think it's very important to condition your mind in a way, which is to improve your mindset. Uh, and if you've not conditioned your mind, then you're gonna always have this problem of being weak. So I think a lot of men are weak. That's the reality.
Emotionally weak, you mean?
Emotionally होंगे तो physically भी होंगे. क्योंकि emotionally weak है तो he cannot drag his ass to the gym, right? He has to drag his ass, which is a big thing. So he's going to be weak physically as well. He's going to be weak in a lot of things. See, now life is all about convenience and comfort, like with these dating apps, with Blinkit and all of this, right? What is it doing at the end of the day? It's making you weak and convenient. See, everything is pushed towards convenience. Even I would say my coaching is pushed towards convenience. I'm making dating more convenient for them. But I'm not going to say it's going to make them weak, because there's a lot of mindset training that's required when, dating is mostly mindset, because there's an inner side to it, there's an outer side to it, which I think we'll get to in the questions. Yeah, but the whole thing is like, be strong mentally. And then you're going to look at things differently. Like, even like if you're not finding a goal, rather than being a victim, you're going to go out, take action to actually meet someone, right? So people, they say like, oh, I cannot go out because I have so much work, I don't have time. And I just say one thing, like, check your screen time. Check your screen time and you'll get the reality. It's 4 hours generally, 3 hours.
Average.
Yeah, 2-3 hours.
Okay.
So they have time.
So I think your answer says that everybody is responsible for their own happiness and they have to find a way for it.
Yeah, and I think like for men, like rather than talking to people about their emotions, rather than talking to, buy a dog or a therapist. Like, get a therapist or
Or
a
we
dog.
come to you.
Or come to me. I have 2 dogs. Yeah.
Okay, moving ahead. So since I've met you and especially came across your work, the bro thing, when we talk about it and when we listen to the word bros, it's yet so casual but confident. And you made the bro thing. What was the idea behind this, and what story or maybe what thing inspired you to start the bro thing?
Nothing inspired me, honestly. I think it was more like my own pain. The lowest of your lows are always going to get you to the highest of your highs. That's what I believe in,
Yeah.
right? I read this somewhere. And for me to start the bro thing, what it took, I'll tell you. So, this is the first time I'm actually sharing this.
Okay,
So,
it's
it's a
gonna be
little
interesting.
hard. Yeah. So, the name was not kept by me, the name was kept by someone else,
Okay.
right? But the whole thing that happened was that I was 15, I started dating, all right? And I was dating this girl. It was all going good according to me. But according to her, I don't think it was going good. Because I didn't have an understanding about anything, right? I'm a nerd. So I was dating this girl. I thought she was out of my league. Now what happened was that I'm dating her and I'm really happy with her. And, like, I'm like, okay, this is the end, right? वो childhood love होता है. So that was happening. And then I got to know that she's cheating on me with all of my friends.
All of your friends
All. Maybe चार दोस्त थे तो तीन. So 3 of my friends.
at the age of 15.
मतलब एज थोड़ी बड़ी भी क्योंकि it was a 4 years relationship.
Okay.
15, 16, 17, 18, right?
Okay.
तो 17 में मेरे को पता लगा I was living in a ignorance is bliss, right? And I got to know and then I confronted her. और मैंने जब confront किया I was very aggressive. Like I was like, what the fuck did you do and all of this? And then she like, so I remember this. There's the most painful incident, right? So I go there and I'm like cussing her and she's with my best friend's younger brother, right? Or my best friend is like 3 years older than me. So I go there and then she's, like, I choose him over you. Because of course I put a lot of pressure on her. Like, fuck you and shit. Like, I was aggressive. And yeah, she said that and that just fucking broke me. I'm like, fuck, like, what do I do now? So then, luckily, I had the opportunity to go to Singapore. I went there. That's when, then what happened was the guy was like, of course, the guy was ethical. So the guy was like, no, I'm not going to date you. You never told me. You lied to me. So you're a liar. I'm not into it. Went off. But I was in a scarcity mindset at that time. So the girl came back to me and I started dating her again. But this time I'm going to Singapore, right? So I'm in Singapore. And my friends are calling me and sending me pictures of she entering someone else's place. And I'm like, dude, I cannot take this. मतलब मैं दूसरी कंट्री में हूँ और मैं इंडिया की बकचोदी संभाल रहा हूँ, right? So I literally switch off my phone. Actually, I threw it in the river, right? I threw it in the river and I'm like done with phones. No WhatsApp, no social media, nothing. I'm like, I need to work on myself. Or else my life is going to be like this. So that's when I discovered this theory of game, right? Social skills, cold approach, whatever you want to call it. उस टाइम पे इतना ऑनलाइन डेटिंग नहीं था, टिंडर भी नहीं आया था. आई थिंक दिस वाज बैक इन 2014 13, आई थिंक 14 13. So social skills मैंने सीखे and I started going out, doing approaches, and that's how I started learning this. Now talking about the bro thing.
Yeah.
So I learned social skills in Singapore, came back, I was pretty good at it. I met some people over here, I was coaching them, right? तो उनमें से एक बंदा था, he kept the name bro thing. He's like, I have this idea in my head, I think you're very good at it. You should do it. And I'm like, I don't know. I had a club and a restaurant at that time. So I was like, I don't know, like, if this is going to be financially good enough for me.
Yeah.
So then he's like, nahi, you should do it, you have to do it and all that. Ended up doing it. अच्छा, उससे पहले क्या हुआ था? Pivotal point नहीं था अभी, मेरा काम अच्छा चल रहा है. Why would I coach people on how to get dates? फिर क्या हुआ? I started doing a chef's job, right? Because I had my restaurant, but I wanted food knowledge. So I was doing a job under a celebrity chef in Imperial Hotel. Very good chef, Thai cuisine. Forgot the name, but yeah, very good chef. She doesn't cook. She's a celebrity. So, but what happened over there was, like, I was living in with this girl because my house was very far from Imperial Hotel, which is in Janpat. So I was living in with this girl, and थोड़ा toxic था relationship. इतना नहीं था लेकिन, मतलब, it was a little fights and all. One day, I have like a 14-hour shift in my hotel. 15 घंटे काम चल रहा था, and I met this girl in a party. तो हमारा पूरा पार्टी वाली वाइब थी उससे पहले.
You're talking about ex met
हाँ,
in a party. Okay.
हाँ, तो उससे पहले I used to take her out, we used to go out, but जैसे मेरा काम शुरू हुआ, lifestyle changed. क्योंकि 17 घंटे का काम है, I cannot even stand after that. Like, my back is hurting and stuff. तो एक दिन मैंने उसको बोला 17 घंटे का मेरा शिफ्ट है, so I need my laptop tomorrow morning, and उसका phone switched off है, but I'm paying the rental over there, so I can go there and get my laptop, right? So I go in my car, It was in Lajpat Nagar. I go in my car. ठीक है, तो किसी की गाड़ी खड़ी हुई है. But regular scene, right? Lajpat Nagar. I go up and I ring the bell. Bell भी नहीं बज रही है. So I open the door. I go inside. And her door is open, right? So I'm like, okay, I don't have to scare her. उठी होगी, पता नहीं इसके दोस्त आए होंगे. I don't want to scare her. I tried calling her, phone switched off. But then I'm like, I'm going to knock first, right? तो दरवाजा थोड़ा सा खोला हुआ था. I could see another person with long hair, and they were both naked.
Was she a girl?
I was dating her.
No, was
No,
she a,
that's
the,
what I
the
thought.
long
That's
hair?
what. So I knocked on it. I came out. I'm like, fuck, man, this is probably an invitation for a threesome. She didn't tell me she's bi, and it's best. It's no optimism. Then I just open it, and it's a guy with long hair, and it's just sad and heartbreaking. And it was his car. So I'm like, okay, I need some time. Like, I need to figure this shit out. And I knew that I don't have a future with her. You know, that's the biggest problem. Again, I think it's one of your questions, that's the biggest problem that guys actually face, which is compromising the quality because they know it's not going to work out, but they're still in that relationship. That was my case. And I'd learned a lot of approaching and social skills by that time. So I didn't need to be in that situation, right? So I go down and I'm just thinking, and my hands are shivering like this. I'm like, ये क्या हो रहा है मेरे साथ? मतलब, I've seen her cheating, but why am I shivering if I know that we don't have a future?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to pay any amount of money to get away from this feeling. Any amount of money. Like, मेरे पास अभी 5 लाख नहीं भी हैं. मैं किसी से मांग के किसी को दे दूंगा. मेरे को ये फीलिंग नहीं चाहिए. और फिर उसका फोन आता है मेरे को कि उसको गाड़ी निकालनी है. गाड़ी हटा लो. Yeah. And that's when I decided that I don't want any guy to go through this ever.
And then you're going to help men.
Help men not go through this. Help men who think they're helpless. Help men in my position not to feel this feeling. It's a good business idea as well. और उस टाइम में मेरा थोड़ा दिमाग खिसक गया था. It was more emotional actually. Yeah, it was more emotional. I went home and I'm like, I'm not doing the restaurant anymore. I cannot do it. Just cannot do it. Like, I think I know my calling now. So I got to go that route. Yeah, that's how the bro thing started. For me. For other people, like there's 3 people and 4 people who were involved initially. For them, it might be a different story. For me, that's when I got the idea that I don't want any guy to go through this feeling.
All right, great. That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so among all the cases and all over your experience dealing with men or dating cases, what do you think is the biggest challenge that people face in dating, and how do you tell them to overcome it?
I think the biggest challenge is insecurities. Like, people have a lot of insecurities about their looks, about aging, about कि मेरे को पता ही नहीं है क्या बात करूं. These are some of the major challenges, I think, and everyone is dealing with them.
Especially when it comes to modern dating, because modern dating is not same as the normal dating that we used to think about, that this is dating is all about. Now we are into this era where things have changed so much, and somehow it has become so complicated.
It's become convenient.
Convenient? Do you really think so?
It's like Blinkit, like 8 minutes, 30
10
minutes.
10 minutes a guy
30 minutes a new person
comes.
comes. It's like Blinkit, yeah. It's become more convenient if you're stupid enough to get lost in it, then...
But most of them are stupid. I mean, most of us are stupid, if I would be honest about it.
That's true.
So what...
that's true.
What is the biggest challenge that people face? Or they think that... I think, because if I talk about myself, the biggest challenge is to not to be the victim of all these modern dating tactics. That could be breadcrumbing, gaslighting. Or sometimes we are the victim of it, but we don't know it, that we are the victim. Or maybe when it comes to us, we forget that what it means.
I think with so many terms, right? Like, or so many modern terms, dating, pronouns as well, right? It's just too complicated. You're overcomplicating things. It's very simple. If you like a girl, you get into a relationship. If you don't think she's compatible with the values and everything, you don't, right? Modern dating is convenient for women mostly, not for men. Unless they're working with me, honestly. Okay. Because men, their online dating experience sucks. It's bad. Women, on the other hand, the matches thing, and I was doing this Tinder analytics. A girl gets like 95 matches versus a guy gets like 3 matches. That's like the results. The modern dating is definitely helpful for women in a way, but it's also making people very toxic because of the convenience. And the most common issue is like the convenience. लड़कों को नहीं है वो इतनी. Only 1% of the men have it, that convenience. But mostly women, every girl has it. But I'm not talking about quality convenience. It might not be quality. It might be like compromising on quality. But that's what most men do. So I think the most common issue of modern dating is compromising on quality because of comfort and convenience. Again, comes back to the mindset. I think dating is most about mindset than anything else.
Okay, spill the tea on something, some case that you might think is one of your favorites or interesting case that can make you laugh, you remember about it, and want to share here with us.
Okay, so I have like many interesting cases. Which one do you want to hear about? Like, there's
Your
a
favorite
case
one.
of the royalty. I think my favorite case is my own case. So I was casually seeing this girl, 7, 8 years. I knew her, good friends. I broke up. I was in a long-term relationship. I broke up, met this girl again, and it was all pretty good. We were discussing about dating, but I was also seeing other people because I was going through a breakup phase, and I was like, okay, I need to take my time to heal, and then I'll decide. I don't want to take any decisions based on vulnerability.
Yeah.
So, हुआ क्या कि we were sort of good, and I get an email one day, and it's like, it's the guy she was dating, gave me an email. I want to work with you, and like I'm losing attraction with this girl, and this is what is happening, and all of that. And I thought my manager is playing a joke on me. So I called my manager, and I'm like, bro, it's not done. I mean, like, we're not working together after this.
You're fired.
नहीं, you fired me. हम साथ में मतलब co-found करिए, ऐसे fired नहीं. But मतलब गुस्सा तो आता ही है ना कि यार मजाक एक लेवल पे होता है, मतलब इतना पर्सनल नहीं जा सकते. तो the guy's like कि नहीं यार मैंने थोड़ी ना किया कुछ. I've not done shit. So I'm like, okay, let's get to the core of it. तो कोर पे गए और पता लगा कि हाँ, she was actually dating this guy. She was hiding shit from me. जबकि मैं बहुत open था कि okay, I'm dating like multiple people. So I think then I gave the guy the coaching. क्योंकि that was very heartbreaking for me honestly. Because एक तो vulnerable हूँ मैं उस time पे, right? I met this girl और 7-8 साल से जानता हूँ. I'm like, okay, this is probably the perfect relationship because I know her since a long time. कितने ही fuck ups होंगे. I know all of fuck ups that can happen, right? और plus ये हो रहा है एकदम से. It's like a break of trust. And then first break of trust with the breakup, and then second break of trust with her, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, confused हो गया मैं थोड़ा. But I wanted to teach that guy. So I asked my manager, I'm like, bro, देख मैं इसको normal pricing पे तो I cannot do this shit. Like, money is not worth it कि दिल टूट रहा है. So what do you think is cost of a heartbreak? He's like 40,000 an hour. I'm like, 40,000 an hour, bro? You think someone will pay that? Famous भी नहीं थे, कुछ भी नहीं था. Like, Instagram had like 10K followers and stuff. And I'm like, ठीक है कोट कर दे क्योंकि उसके बिना तो मैं कोच भी नहीं कर पाऊंगा. I increased my prices after that, so I respect it.
So you coached someone with whom your girl was cheating.
Yeah, but now I think these guys are together, so I think I did a good job.
Coached him very well.
Coached
I
him
would
very
say.
well.
Okay. All right. So you coach a lot of men regarding confidence and social skills and stuff. So what is the most common challenge or the problem you would say is so common in men in regards to women when they come to approaching women?
Generally it's like they do the same thing and expect a different result. Too much in the comfort zone. So again, the mindset thing comes over here. Like, they keep on repeating the same things. Like, most guys, honestly, they rely on online dating apps plus social media थोड़ा बहुत, plus social circles हो गए उनके, plus apart from social circles एक आध दिन बाहर चले गए दोस्तों के साथ, getting drunk.
Oh, but I've seen usually, like being a girl, what my experience is, a lot of people I can see they might be interested in me or my friend or any other person, and I can see from their eyes. And because girls have extra sense to
Yeah.
figure out if the other person who's standing also at a bar is interested in them. We could figure out with the eyes itself. So still they don't have that confidence that they can walk to the girl and talk about it and approach them in a decent way.
Because awareness नहीं है इस चीज़ की कि ये चीज़ सीखी जा सकती है. There's no awareness of it. Especially in India. Like, कितने ही लोग aware होंगे? Probably like a million.
Yeah.
कितनी population है? तो awareness, पहले awareness चाहिए. The second thing is the most common problem that I feel is most men, even when they're talking to girls, they're overcompensating for the lack of their masculinity by showing off their money because that's what they've learned. कि अच्छा मेरे पास पैसा इतना है, मेरे डैडी ये करते हैं, ये है वो है. दिल्ली में तो ये सीन है, बाहर बैंगलोर में नहीं है, मुंबई में भी ये सीन है, ठीक है. But most men, they're overcompensating for the lack of their personality and masculinity.
And what if you talk about non-Indians, people outside of it? Like you talked about the cities,
Okay,
Bangalore,
yeah.
Delhi, and Mumbai.
Huh.
When you talk about people or men who are non-Indians,
Non-Indians, right? What is their insecurities and the major problems?
I mean, is the issue same or?
No, issue's not same.
Okay.
Because over there, socializing is very normal, right? So I have a lot of clients from US, Europe. Socializing is very normal. And these are not Indians. These are people from US and Europe.
Okay.
So उनका mindset different है because the conditioning is different. So over there, socializing is very normal. तो उनके थोड़ी बहुत problems ऐसी हैं जो overlap करती हैं. But their major issue is not finding one girl. Their major issue is finding the compatible person. यहाँ पे major issue है कि I need one girl to date. मैं busy हूँ, I don't have the time. वहाँ पे क्या है कि you were working in a corporate. After that, you having beers with your friends in a bar. That's the normal lifestyle over there. तो इनके socializing already बहुत normal है, इंडिया में इतनी normal नहीं है. तो ये difference आ जाता है main conditioning में. उसके बाद थोड़ा यूरोप और यूएस का अलग जगह अलग कंडीशनिंग है. यूरोप में अगर जर्मनी बर्लिन में रह रहा है बंदा, तो बर्लिन में मैरिज वाला अब सिस्टम नहीं है. बट अगर वो मान लो आप स्विट्जरलैंड में रह रहे हैं तो देयर इज अ मैरिज सिस्टम. सो हर जगह की कंडीशनिंग थोड़ी बहुत अलग है, कल्चरल कंडीशनिंग. वो समझनी पड़ती है पहले टू एक्चुअली हेल्प देम.
Alright.
या
Okay, moving ahead, we all fall for the dating myths. So, which one do you think should be cancelled forever? Is there any stereotype or myth regarding the dating that you think is outdated or misleading? The different
सबसे
sort.
बड़ा मिथ तो ये है कि looks every like dating love all of this depends on looks. सबसे बड़ा myth ये है. I mean, looks do play a part, but you can be presentable. You can increase your sexual market value at least by 3 to 4 points if you're just presentable. You focus on hygiene, grooming, fashion, all that. But that is, I think, the biggest limiting point. Second limiting point for men, I'll tell you,
Yeah.
is कि it's very hard. मतलब मेरे को बहुत time लगेगा because they're following inefficient dating strategies. अभी मैं एक कल client से बात कर रहा था. I was taking a review call.
Yeah.
So I'm like, he's like, before joining the program, I was thinking कि you know मेरे को एक नई लड़की के साथ to build the same relationship. He had like a 2-3 year relationship. It's going to take me time. I'm not going to do that, or it's not going to be worth it because I have to text her for a week before I set the first date. Then she's going to withhold sex for like 6 dates. That didn't happen to him. He was excited after the program, and because no knowledge is available near that, it doesn't happen generally. Like it happens generally. It doesn't happen when you have the right knowledge. It doesn't take time. You follow efficient processes. I know कि थोड़ा mechanism बन रहा है and it's like automate. Okay, it's robotic. It's more robotic. That you might be thinking it's robotic, but it's efficient. So I teach efficiency in dating mostly, right? Like if you're following the same processes, what is the point? If you're texting a girl, you match with a girl on online dating, set a date in like 7 to 14 days. That's going to be time consuming. But if you're matching with 100 girls, setting dates in like 2 days, that's not going to be time consuming. तो ये लड़कों का एक बहुत बड़ा फैक्टर रहता है, स्पेशली entrepreneurs और वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल्स का, कि टाइम बहुत लगेगा, मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगा. लाइक इन्वेस्ट इन अ पर्सन, गेट टू नो देम, सेम थिंग ओवर एंड ओवर अगेन. पहली बात तो मैचेस भी नहीं आ रहे उनको, कुछ भी नहीं है. मतलब 10 मैचेस को, जिसको 10 मैचेस आ रहे हैं, he thinks he's the king, right? Like he's like, oh, I'm getting 10 matches, bro. So that's stupidity. सबसे पहले उनको वो बहुत कम है. But anyway, making it short, like it's mostly a time problem for men at a certain age, and I think for women, that's interesting. Women at a certain age, I think it's more about finding the wrong guys. They would come across someone who's lying to them, and they'd hook up with that person expecting something else, and
But that's
क्योंकि
very
that's
general
Indian
these
mentality.
days.
That's Indian mentality at the end of the day.
That's very common in general. I mean, it has become very common. I mean, everywhere.
It's not authentic, it's and then it scars the woman, and then again so what I believe, it's like it's like the cycle of pain and the cycle of growth. It's like relational. Cycle of pain stops, cycle of growth will stop. So some people are giving each other pain and they're growing as well. So it's balance.
Painful growth.
Painful growth. But growth is always painful. I mean, it's always painful.
Nobody wants that with another person, right? I mean, some part of it being good and bad in a relationship, it's fair enough. I mean, you should see both the sides. But growing painfully with someone, I think that's a big red flag, especially
You
when it
cannot grow
comes to
painfully with
women's
someone. You
perspective.
have to take your pain alone. You cannot grow painfully with someone. That's not growth. That's toxic relationships you're talking
That's
about.
what it has become a red
You
flag.
take pain, you move on, and you learn from your pain, right? You don't let your pain overwhelm you and make you believe that you're a victim. That's
Yeah.
what a lot of people do. You take that pain and you work on it. You understand what are your shortcomings. You work on it. But the pain should never stop. Pain should not stop. Pain stops, growth stops, definitely.
Definitely. Okay. Okay, tell us about a success story that stood out to you. Some story or someone who's taken your coaching and transformed their life.
Okay. So one of the success stories that comes to my mind instantly is of this guy who's 49 years old, gentleman, right? From a different city, small town. And he had never had any experience with women before.
Never had
Never had.
at the age of 49.
या बिकॉज ऑफ हिज लाइफ प्रॉब्लम
Okay.
सबकी अलग अलग प्रॉब्लम्स होती हैं तो उसकी कोई प्रॉब्लम चल रही थी जिसकी वजह से उसको कोई एक्सपीरियंस नहीं था
Okay.
सो ही टुक लॉट ऑफ ऑनलाइन प्रोग्राम्स और उसके बाद ही कॉल्ड अस ही लाइक कि मेरे को सब समझ आ रहा है यूट्यूब पे आप कैसे एक्सप्लेन करते हो एंड आई वांट टू वर्क विद यू उस टाइम में पैंडेमिक आया था राइट सो माय होल बिजनेस वाज लाइक लाइफ कोचिंग नाउ इट्स लाइक पैंडेमिक और एंड माय टीम इज लाइक यार 49-year-old को एक छोटे सिटी में कैसे रिजल्ट दिलाएंगे मतलब ये तो पॉसिबल ही नहीं है और हम गारंटी ऑफ रिजल्ट्स में काम करते हैं वी डोंट वर्क इफ आई डोंट थिंक दैट द पर्सन कैन गेट अ गारंटी आई टेक माई कॉल्स माई सेल्फ आई माई मैनेजर इज गोना टॉक सेल्स गाइज गोना टॉक देन आई एम गोना टॉक बिफोर ऑनबोर्डिंग द क्लाइंट तो सब अगेंस्ट थे उसके और बट फिर मेरे को ये रियलाइज हो कि यार उसको कौन हेल्प करेगा लाइक ही हैज़ नो ऑप्शन फेल हो गए आई टोल्ड हिम ऑनेस्टली कि दिस इज लाइक नो वन इज गोना एक्सेप्ट यू मैन क्योंकि ये बहुत मुश्किल है मैं फेल भी हो सकता हूँ बट अगर मैंने ये नहीं किया तो मेरे को ये काम छोड़ना पड़ेगा क्योंकि मैंने काम उसी सोच से शुरू किया है कि आई वांट टू हेल्प मेन हु फील दैट दे आर हेल्पलेस और वो फीलिंग किसी बंदे को नहीं होनी चाहिए लाइफ में सो मैं इमोशनली अटैच हो गया था उस पर्टिकुलर केस से एंड आई वाज लाइक सी या सो दिस 49-year-old gentleman I taught him things and you know that program was really close to my heart because I felt that what I was feeling at that point in time he's going through तो वी वर्क फॉर अ ईयर और एक साल बाद ऐसा एक टाइम आ गया था बिकॉज हेल्प हो चुकी है ही इज टॉकिंग टू 18 वुमेन उसका ऑब्जेक्टिव नहीं था वो उसका ऑब्जेक्टिव था टू फाइंड समवन कंपैटिबल बट अब वो इस चीज़ में घुसा है एंड यू नो ही इज नॉट हैड एनी एक्सपीरियंसेस तो एक बार एक्सपीरियंसेस मिलने शुरू होते हैं तो देन यू गेट हुक टू इट इट्स लाइक कोकेन यू नो इट्स लाइक अ ड्रग राइट यू गेट हुक टू इट सो ही गॉट हुक टू इट एंड yeah, he was happy. He was talking to 18 women at age of 49. It's very hard. Small town में भी था, so that's even hard. So that case stood out to me because if he can learn it, anyone can fucking do it. Anyone. A
And
person
what
who
was the
cannot even
result?
speak can do it. A person who cannot hear can do it. If he can do it. क्योंकि advantages अलग है उनके पास. Like he's 49 years old, छोटे शहर में. Probably इतने लोग भी नहीं होंगे single उस age bracket में.
So later, what was the result with him?
खुश था ही वॉज हैप्पी अभी हमारी कल बात हुई थी एंड ही इज लाइक आई स्पोक टू लॉट ऑफ गर्ल्स नाउ आई वांट लाइक मैच मेकिंग तो उस वजह से यू नो आई आस्क्ड हिम यार मैच मेकिंग का मतलब यू मस्ट हैव गॉन थ्रू इज लाइक मैं भारत मैट्रिमोनी गया नॉट दैट ग्रेट मतलब बहुत सारे पैसे ले रहे हैं and नहीं चल रहा सही देन ही वेंट टू मैच मेकर इन दिल्ली 5 लाख रुपए उसको कोट किया I was like, I'm charging so less. I'm giving you dating on steroids. I'm charging so less. मैंने कहा मैं करा दूँ तेरी match making टेंशन मत ले. So that I came up with an idea that you know I'm teaching social skills and sort of like dating and stuff. So why not like just help matchmaking? And so we're starting a matchmaking company now. That's
Oh, now we're gonna see you making matches as well.
not me, but yeah, the people. Yeah,
I mean,
I'm going to teach them a system, and it's very easy. And it's easy for me. Yeah. Because I've done this for 12 years.
Nice. I'll contact you if required.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Okay, moving ahead. So, how do you tailor or differentiate your advice according to the people or clients from different backgrounds, especially coming from small towns or different cultures? How's it different? How do you tailor it?
So basically, there's a concept called cultural calibration. Like I told you, कि यूरोप में अलग culture है, US में अलग culture है, अलग-अलग cities में अलग culture चल रहा है.
Yeah.
इंडिया में अलग, मेट्रोपॉलिटन्स में अलग है और स्मॉल टाउन्स में अलग है, राइट? So that is the cultural calibration part. But attraction के जो fundamentals हैं, which is your personality, your grooming, your fashion, ये छोटे मोटे हो गए, and plus how you're making her feel. Like the deeper fundamentals of attraction remain the same all across the globe. So even if you go to Afghanistan, right, there's gonna be certain things that are gonna attract the girl, like the way you're talking to her, the way you're making her feel, right? But the way you approach is gonna change. मतलब वहाँ पे शायद लोग स्लेस बनाते होंगे वहाँ पे वो अप्रोच है, यहाँ पे ये अप्रोच है, like you just go and talk directly. Small towns में थोड़ी अप्रोच और चेंज हो जाती है, you have to be a little bit more conservative, right? You go indirect, you talk about a direction or something and you strike conversation like that. Again, you need a little bit more knowledge, but that's generally how the approach changes, but the fundamentals remain the same, if it makes sense.
Yeah, but in India already we are a cultural country. Already within India there are so many states and different sort of cultures, and everybody has their own beliefs. So in respect to their cultures also, in their values that they carry, sometimes it becomes a barrier, maybe comes in between your dating life. You might have heard of these cases that family is not supporting, or maybe the person is from other cultural background and they might have some issues coming from the family or any other thing. So how is it that different, or maybe how do you deal in such cases?
I mean, see, there's a graph like I saw recently, which is like how much time you spend with your family after 30 and the new family that you create, which is with your partner.
Yeah.
So considering that graph in mind, I mean, try to be socially calibrated to put that point across. But society के हिसाब से जियोगे, you're never gonna be happy. I mean, I don't wanna, ruin people's lives. But because I have had clients, right, कि वो गए and they've had that arranged marriage and they're like, okay, parents ने decision लिया, क्योंकि mindset ही है यहाँ पे, right, that get a good job, parents are gonna find the girl for you, be happy with her. कुछ लोग होते success. India's divorce rate is 1%, which is the lowest. But you know how many people are fucking unhappy, separated without divorce? क्योंकि यहाँ का cultural इतना वो थोड़ा scene है कि 1% divorce rate, समझ रहे हो आप? 60% of the people are unhappy, but they're still together. Now they cannot
Within the
date.
marriage.
Within marriage हो गए या फिर अलग अलग रह रहे हैं, but they're dating other people, whatever. But 1% is the divorce rate. That's a big red flag. That means that society is controlling so much कि वो बता ही नहीं पा रहे लोगों को कि we're not happy together, we want a divorce. Instead, what they would do is they would take different houses and they're dating different people, but they cannot get remarried अगर divorce नहीं हुआ. और लड़के के लिए तो financially भी थोड़ा fucked up रहता है.
Yeah. So which one do you think is more successful, and especially in our country, love marriages or arranged marriages?
You cannot put a statistical
There is,
analysis
yeah,
on it
there
because
is no
statistics over here are
but
so
according
bad.
to the, like you told, 1% is divorce rate.
Yeah, love marriage में तुम अपने ऊपर responsibility दे दोगे कि I fucked up. Again, it's a mindset thing. Arranged marriage में you'll always be blaming others. You'll always be blaming your parents, your family. So it's more easier. I mean, blaming others is the easiest thing, but you got to take responsibility. If you want to be good at anything, if you want a good relationship, you want to be good at business, you want to be good at lifestyle, whatever, you got to take ownership and responsibility of everything that you do. My car got banged, I'm taking responsibility of that, okay, this is my problem because I'm here at this situation, even though it was the other person's fault. क्योंकि उसके ऊपर मेरे को blame करके कोई फायदा नहीं होगा.
No, I think people are also thinking in that way कि प्यार करके शादी नहीं हुआ, but शादी करके प्यार हो जाएगा शायद. So that's how they are following the concept of arranged marriages. So do you think this is a good idea?
It doesn't matter what I think, it's the society.
As a coach, do you think?
Personally, I won't do it. If you ask me, I would never do it. I would never get married to a person. I would talk to a person. Like if my family is like, okay, go for an arranged marriage meetup, I would be open-minded to meet the girl, get to know her, have a courtship period. I would be open-minded. ऐसा नहीं है कि arranged marriages गलत है. But अगर societal pressure की वजह से मैं कुछ नहीं करूँगा, क्योंकि I wouldn't have been a dating coach.
Do you think pickup lines work in 2024 in this era?
Okay, now you might be talking about those pickup lines जो तुम online देखते हो कि oh, you
Could
look,
be anywhere.
are you a 10? You're the only 10 I see. Bullshit, right? But the first thing that, when I wanted to approach the girl for the first time, I was like, okay, let me get the strongest pickup line. And I got this like, excuse me, could you tell me the directions? Directions to what? To your heart. Cringe as fuck. It worked though at that time. But nahi yaar, pickup lines, matlab better hai ki you have, like just be normal,
They work
right?
in
Like,
this generation, or maybe this era.
मतलब we follow a framework rather than pickup lines. Framework के ऊपर आप pickup lines बना सकते हो. So framework is like CQC framework: compliment, question and conversation. Psychological principles पे काम करता है कि तुम compliment दोगे, validation मिलेगी किसी को, they're gonna feel good about themselves. तुम question पूछोगे, अगर compliment दिया तो they're gonna more likely to invest in that question. Then you go for a conversation by जो भी question का उन्होंने reply दिया है उसी को थोड़ा stretch करके, तो क्या होगा, बहुत relatable conversation हो जाती है. So the other person will talk. तो उस फ्रेमवर्क पे हम बहुत पिकअप लाइंस बना सकते हैं. यू कैन ऑलवेज बेटर टू मेक योर ओन. बट इफ यू आर अ न्यू गाय, यू स्टार्टिंग इट एंड यू वांट टू लर्न अबाउट अप्रोचिंग, इतनी फट जाती है व्हेन यू गो आउट एंड यू टॉकिंग टू गर्ल्स, राइट, दैट यू ऑल इन योर हेड. तो तब व्हाटएवर पुशेस यू फॉरवर्ड इज गुड, बट इन द लॉन्ग रन पिकअप लाइंस ना, आई मीन स्टे अवे फ्रॉम देम. Like don't read like 50 pickup lines. एक मैंने वीडियो बनाई थी 10 best pickup lines. You know the best pickup line is like, hey, it's I don't know what's your name.
So, which is the best pickup line you've heard, maybe from your experience, from people, from any girl, somewhere?
The best pickup line. Interesting question. So whenever I'm with a client who's elder than me, right, now I'm told to, but when I'm a client who's elder than me and I'm in a bar or something, you know, I'm like, I'm here with my father. I'm here to lose my virginity. I'm just kidding. No, but that is the best one that works for me. I'm kidding. Not really, but it works for me, but it's not going to work for them because, of course, you need a lot more shit to handle after that. But the best pickup line is just go and just introduce yourself. You know, hey, how's it going? See if you see discomfort, use a statement of empathy. What is a statement of empathy? Is make her understand that you understand that she's not comfortable. उससे क्या होगा कि the girl is going to feel like at least he's socially calibrated. Eve teasing नहीं कर रहा. He's not going to do any sudden movements. You know, he's socially calibrated, socially intelligent. So yeah, just make her feel understood. Show empathy. If there's discomfort, if there's no discomfort, show more intent. Like show her that why you're there. Not just don't tell her that okay, I want to hook up, or you know, like logically itna nahi karna. But I saw you, I just thought I should have a conversation. Keep it subtle.
We've talked about best. What about the worst? What is the worst pickup
Worst,
line?
whatever they copy from
Coming
the internet.
from anyone, any statement, or worst part?
मैं सिखाता नहीं हूँ pickup line, so I don't know the worst one.
Okay.
We made Happy Diwali work. Like Happy Diwali was the best pickup line in the last live coaching program that we did.
Happy Diwali.
Yeah, I mean pickup lines. You know, you're thinking
But
about
that is only valid at the time of Diwali, right?
No, it was not Diwali at that time. There's 3
What do you
months.
mean by Happy Diwali?
People were asking like, is it Diwali already? See, the thing about pickup lines is you're focusing on the things that actually don't matter. Okay. If I'm talking to a girl, if I meet a girl in a bar or a club or a daytime location or a mall, she's not going to say like, I hooked up with you or I'm in a relationship with you, because the first word you say, she's not even going to remember it. People put so much value on the things that don't matter. क्योंकि उनकी फटरी होती है and they're like, okay, मेरे को शब्द नहीं आ रहे, like I don't have words what to say. So they're scared. But reality is like, those things don't even matter. That's why we did the Happy Diwali thing, to teach clients कि तुम Happy Diwali से भी बात करके एक अच्छी conversation में जाके एक अच्छी date पे जा सकते हो. Wish I had that video, I would upload it over here. But I'll do it again, and probably whenever this podcast is out, I'll upload it.
Okay. I'll try to use Happy Diwali somewhere.
You don't have to. I mean,
Okay, so what's that one piece of advice you would give to your clients or anyone listening to which they could say, or they could become surprised, like, wait, what? I don't know, what are you saying? Any such thing or suggestion or tip?
It's a very interesting question. One tip. Just one?
Yeah, you can go to 2, 3.
I'll go two.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So one is like, don't judge anything. Don't judge any sources of getting more dates or a relationship. Some people are like, okay, online dating is like this, offline dating is like this. Bars may meet this kind of woman. ठीक है. Till an extent they're right, but you'll always find that unicorn. But don't judge anyway, because the moment I judged it for a long time, right? So the moment you judge it, you're closing one route of getting a potential partner. So don't judge anyway because of your laziness and because you don't know how that way works. I judged it for the longest time, whether it's online dating, whether it's approaching people, whether it's social circles. I judged everything. Pehle, I started with cold approach, which is approaching people and, you know, learning the skill myself. I judged online dating because उस time my mindset ही था, how the coaches were selling their programs was कि cold approach is the way to go, fuck online dating, right? So I judged that, which means that for like years and years I didn't use it. Then I judged social circles. Don't judge anyway. It's just a medium of meeting a person. Rather than that, analyze the person rather than the medium, because you're like, okay, सारे ऐसे ही हैं यहाँ पे. Don't do that.
So people become surprised with this, like, what this tip are you giving? So the question exactly was that they become surprised of this thing, this tip, that this person, this coach has given us this tip. Do we actually have to do this, or is he kidding about it?
Do everything. I would say, like, do daytime approaches, nighttime approaches, online dating. अब तुम्हें लगेगा कि time बहुत consume होगा, but that's not the reality. Like, if you follow efficient processes, you can do it like half an hour, 30 minutes each day. You can do everything. So follow everything. I get your question. Work on your looks, work on your sexual market value. So 90% of your time should be invested for a man who's single.
What do you mean by sexual market value?
Sexual market value is basically what's your value in the sexual marketplace.
How do you figure out that?
So it's a lot of things, right? Your attitude, your value in terms of, okay, so societal value क्या होती है? एक इंसान की एक value कैसे समझी जाती है? Is he high value, low value? Behavior patterns, attitude, of course, social status, career, whatever he's bringing on the table, right? So that's his sexual market value. Physical attractiveness comes in that as well. So for a man, 90% of your time should be invested. काम वाम तो चल ही रहा है, उसके साइड में मैं बता रहा हूँ, जो आपका leisure time है, should be invested in improving your sexual market value. Like, talk about nutrition, right? Are you putting the right food in your body? Are you, especially guys who are single above 30, no one takes care of them. Like, they don't take care of themselves. So you have to be like extreme in that. I think that is one thing, because most of this marketing is like, okay, looks are not required anything, but 30 के बाद the more you deteriorate, right? And 30 के बाद इसलिए बोलूँगा कि dating pool shrinks after 30 in India, क्योंकि mindset ऐसा है कि 30 तक शादी हो जानी चाहिए. That's the conditioning यहाँ की.
Yeah.
तो यहाँ पे actually problems होती हैं लोगों को 30 के बाद कि to find the right kind of partner. Right kind of partner से लड़कों का majorly attractiveness रहता है physical looks पे, majorly. तो वो problems होती हैं लोगों को.
All right.
So अगर अपने आप को you keep yourself fit, keep yourself healthy, mentally stable, then I think you're going to find the right partner. And also, not only that, that's the inner side of it. The outer side of it is you also have to meet people. You also have to do all of these things like online dating, approaching, social circles.
I think it requires efforts. I mean, before it used to happen, especially in case of women, if I talk about, they don't need to put
It's
a
the
lot
least
of
effort
efforts.
required, actually. 2000.
But now it has become like you have to put some extra effort and some extra work if you want to really date and a good person.
Yeah, I think it requires way less effort. Like, considering when I started learning this, when I was 17, right? It was back in 2012. I don't even remember. When I started learning this, effort कितना होता था कि जाके तुम बात करो. अब तुम एक online dating app में तुमने एक बार प्रोफाइल बनाई 4 घंटे में, you're matching with like people from all around. ठीक है, तुम्हारी रीच इतनी ज़्यादा बढ़ चुकी है, तो वो सोच की बात है. But it's way less effort. इतनी ज़्यादा information online available है, तुम कुछ भी देख के you can find a person. So I think it's way less effort than before. Yeah. But if you're considering like prehistoric times, cavemen, get the food. I mean, that's the least effort.
By effort, I mean, पहले कोई ऐसे specially time नहीं निकालता था कि dating को देखना है. Now I think people are focusing so much कि now if we want to date, like people are taking coaching from you. I mean, this is not what's happening since last 10 years or something. Right. अब उनको एक extra help भी चाहिए and they have a new way of doing it.
Because knowledge बहुत ज़्यादा है ना. Knowledge जितनी ज़्यादा बढ़ती रहेगी, पहले के अगर आप मतलब knowledge जितनी ज़्यादा बढ़ती रहेगी, उतना बंदे को efficient रहना है. जो high performing बंदा है, he's gonna be like, I want to be the most efficient in dating as well. So it's not about putting in more efforts, it's about being more efficient.
Okay.
Like, you can be efficient and not put as many efforts, but you can get the same result. जहाँ पे एक बहुत effort तो like गधा भी डालता है, right? He's carrying rocks. तो हाँ, कुछ लोग डाल रहे हैं effort. People think it's a lot of efforts. But when you follow efficient dating strategies, जैसे frameworks हो गए, flirt framework is some texting framework. I think I showed you that.
Yeah.
So, is it effort?
People should have the knowledge of that.
हाँ, तो awareness पहले लाओ और फिर effort नहीं रहेगा.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Moving on. So dating app profiles are becoming sort of a resumes for the love lives these days. So what do you think a dating profile, a good dating profile, should have and should not have?
A good dating profile should have a story about your life. If you're a guy, if you're a girl, you're gonna get matches either ways. You can put selfies and shit. Yeah, for a guy, I mean, it has to tell a story about you. That's how you separate yourself from 99% of the other profiles. Of course, the pictures have to be high quality, and the framing, the person has to be 1/3 or 2/3 of the frame. The lens has to be a 50 mm or a 35 mm lens. They can go in depth and depth and depth, but technically that should be a good dating profile. It should all have thumb-stopping pictures. The trend changes in 3 years or 2 years. Right now, the trend is all iPhone and like all these vibrant pictures. So you should have like vibrant editing in those pictures, not too much editing, just vibrant. Like it should be thumb stopping. The colors should be popping out. The subject should be popping out. So first picture has to be a upper body shot where the girl can clearly see who she's talking to. Second picture has to raise the curiosity of the girl. She swipes more. The more time she spends on the profile, the more likely you're going to get the match. So second picture is generally a curiosity picture about your lifestyle, about what you do, your hobbies. Third picture is mostly a full body shot so that she knows, okay, this is the guy. And then fourth picture, again a curiosity raising picture. Dog picture और ये सब मत use करो अब, नहीं करता काम.
So outdated, I think.
Yeah, I created like 600 profiles doing that shit. So
Using dogs.
dogs all over the country. You have no idea कि हम कैसे figure out करते थे कि कहाँ से पकड़ने हैं कुत्ते. हम लोगों को पैसे देते थे सड़क पे. He's going out with a small dog and we would pay him like, okay, कल इसको shoot पे जाना है. Like 1,000 रुपए ले ले. Dog walkers.
Take my dog next time. Or maybe
Your
your
dog is a big dog.
Girls care about dogs. I mean, the guy should be a dog lover. That's what we see.
That's what you see.
Yeah. It could be any breed.
But उसके बाद हमने stray dog use करना शुरू किया. फिर एक बंदे को shoot पे कुत्ते ने काट लिया था. उसके बाद like legal issues नहीं संभाल सकते हैं. Like, okay,
कुत्ता क्या?
done with the dog pictures.
Okay, what are the other things? Like dogs are, you can say, one of the props that people have used. What other things guys try to portray or show it
So
on the dating app?
I mean, you tell me that.
I think as far as I have seen, they try to show the cards.
Money,
Yeah,
cards, वो नहीं करना. That is again covering up for the lack of masculinity. पैसा दिखा के. वो करोगे, you'll find gold diggers only. वो screening process ही तुम अपना बिगाड़ रहे हो. And guys, 90% of the guys do that. कि Mercedes है, उसका logo दिखा रहे हैं, गाड़ी चला रहे हैं. जैसे बाहर Mercedes खड़ी नहीं है.
Places, a lot of places that they travel. I mean, traveling is also the part of our lives. But I've seen
Subtle रखो उसको,
some
बहुत subtle
profiles
रखो.
they show that
कि
they have traveled
एक
so
यूरोप
much.
चला गया, एक यूएस चला गया, एक टोक्यो में अलग अलग दिखा रहा है और बोर्ड्स के सामने खड़ा है ताकि उसको वहाँ पे साइंस दिखाई दे. Like बैक बोर्ड्स होते हैं जो शॉप्स के. So it's different languages. People try to project that in their profiles to show that they're traveling. So I think that's like not good.
And some of the guys and some dating profiles
और
that
फिर
I
कहते
have
हैं कि
seen,
gold diggers क्यों मिल रही है? Why are we getting scammed on dates? Because of your profile.
हाँ, हो सकता है. Yeah, if you will show Mercedes logo, the girl will only see that. Other thing that I've seen on dating profiles, in some, not many, but in some, that they upload their picture first. The second one is also there. And the third picture, now some girl is there. Could be a friend, could be sister also, anyone. But how do a stranger would get to know what relation they are sharing together?
लड़के swipe कर देती है generally ना, क्योंकि like a girl who's a high value girl who's looking for a good decent relationship, she'd be like, I don't want to figure this out.
Yeah.
So she'll swipe left. So how do you come over that is like, don't use any pictures with just a single girl. Two girls के साथ करोगे तो show off लगेगा. तो group picture होनी चाहिए with 4-5 people. Rather than कि ऐसा भी लगे कि बंदा social भी है. He has a life apart from just dating apps. Dating app को इतना seriously मत बनाओ कि सारे 4 prompts fill करे हुए हैं, सब कुछ fill किया हुआ है. क्योंकि then the person is going to feel that he takes dating apps so seriously. So it should not be so serious as well.
Do you think that connecting dating profile with your social media account is a good idea?
Not for me, because then they ask me, oh, are you dating coach?
Generally.
Depends on how your social media is. Like if your social media is booming, why not?
I mean, usually people don't share social media when they're talking.
लड़कियां तो करती है because followers बढ़ रहे हैं उनके, right? लड़कियां तो
it's
करती
not
हैं.
important. I mean, if you ask me if I'm using a dating app, I would not connect it to my
80-90%
Instagram.
of the girls do. That's what I figured out. Like they would just add their profile का link नीचे, username, और फिर लड़के उनको वहाँ पे approach करेंगे. I've been that guy too. but हाँ, that's a tactic. So they increase their followers like that. बाहर की लड़कियां इंडिया में स्वाइप कर रही होती है क्योंकि इंडिया में उनको लगता है कि लोग creepy हैं थोड़े, तो उनको ऐसा लगता है एक्चुअली बाहर की लड़कियों को लाइक यूरोपियंस वेस्टर्न्स दे वुड फील लाइक इंडिया के बंदे क्रीपी हैं अगर हम प्रोफाइल बना देंगे हमारे फॉलोअर बढ़ जाएंगे और बढ़ जाते हैं हैवी क्रीप्स यहाँ पे
Good
ज़्यादा
way
है
of increasing number of followers there.
या फॉर गर्ल्स
For girls.
या फॉर
Now
गाइज
I'm
फॉर
thinking,
गाइज सोशल मीडिया को वो थोड़ा एडवर्स इफेक्ट कर सकता है क्योंकि फिर वही सेम चीज़ कि यू नो ही स्टार्टिंग विद अ गर्ल and the girl is going to be like, who's she?
yeah,
But she's not going to
confusion.
ask him. She's not going to ask the guy initially, at least.
But even I think they get a question in the mind that who this girl
Doubt
is.
शुरू हो जाता है.
Why is she on the dating profile?
मत करो social media ad और नाम भी अपना थोड़ा half ही नाम डालो मतलब कि no one can search you on social media at least unless and until you want to give it.
What's your dating profile name?
AR.
AR.
मेरा तो अलग scene है ना. My scene is different.
Okay.
Yeah.
You use it for your work or you use it personally?
Depends on my mood.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
These
right.
days more about work.
All right. Moving on to next question. Okay, so has there been any moment or situation where the client or the person has misunderstood your tip or advice and made a blunder out of it?
Emotions में generally लोगों के साथ यही होता है.
Hmm.
So there was this client, a very rich politician, right? He approached me and he's like, I have 7 days to figure out this girl's mindset. And I'm like, dude, like I have clients running on, I have a business running
Yeah.
on. 7 दिन में I cannot help you like that. He's like, I'll pay you 10x the money. 7 दिन है मेरे पास. So I had coaches, yeah, right? So I tell my coach, man, you want to take this case? He's not qualified enough. So he was like, yeah, I'll try. तो मैंने उसको थोड़ी बहुत research कराई और नहीं हो पा रहा था वो. So I was like, okay, I need to, अब 2 दिन बचे हमारे पास. 5 दिन हो चुके हैं, वो research कर रहा है. So I'm like, okay, let me do it. So 2 दिन मैंने research करी. So the research क्या थी कि understand the girl's beliefs, lifestyles, see if it is compatible to his values, his beliefs and his lifestyle. तो research में ये निकला कि the girl is playing a dominant masculine role in the household because her father was no more there. Right? So she was supporting the whole household. तो वो dominant role कर रही थी. इसकी family politics में थी पूरी तो they were very famous, very known. The guy was divorced. So she was 28, the guy was 36. So now they're getting married, but the problem is that the guy is getting married कि उसको डर लग रहा है कि मैं divorced हूँ तो मेरे को अच्छी बंदी मिलेगी नहीं अब. The girl is getting married पैसों के लिए. तो ये analysis में निकल आया सारा कुछ साफ. इतना कुछ मतलब analysis की ज़रूरत भी नहीं है, कोई normal बंदा भी बता सकता है ये. But हमने deep थोड़ा किया. I told him the kind of questions to ask the girl to understand her beliefs, to understand her mindset. उसको literally 25 questions frame करके दिए थे. स्क्रिप्ट उसको प्रैक्टिस कराई थी जब बात करी थी क्योंकि ऐसे नहीं पूछ सकता मैं कि पास्ट ट्रॉमास क्या है. ओह डैम, सो व्हाट has anyone ever been divorced in your family? What is your, what are your thoughts on that? मतलब उसको सेटल करना है, राइट?
Yeah.
तो उसको सेटल कर करके उसको ट्रेन किया पूरा 7 दिन में एंड ही गॉट टू नो. और जो एनालिसिस आया सामने मैंने उसको बोला कि यार, और मैं ऐसे बोलता नहीं हूँ बिकॉज ऑफ कोर्स अगर मैं गलत हो गया तो क्रेडिबिलिटी पे नाम आएगा. सो आई टोल्ड हिम कि दिस रिलेशनशिप इज नॉट गोइंग टू वर्क मोर देन अ ईयर. ही इज लाइक कूल, बट बंदे का फियर था. ही डिडंट लिसन टू मी. जनरली उसको जल्दी भी करनी थी ना बिकॉज ही वाज लाइक कि ट्रेन छूट रही है, लाइक आई वांट गेट अनदर गर्ल. बहुत ज़्यादा फियर था और फियर मोस्टली सोसाइटी ने बिल्ड किया था. प्लस पॉलिटिक्स में भी था तो एक वो भी था कि ही शुड बी मैरिड, इमेज भी अच्छी होगी. सो दिस गाय got married sadly.
To the same girl.
Same girl. और एक हफ्ते बाद मेरे को फ़ोन आता है कि this is not the right girl for me. मैंने कहा मैं तो पहले ही बोलता. He's like, now I want to sign up for your program. I'm like, I'm not taking you as a client in my one-to-one program because I cannot help you.
Are they still married?
I did not take him as a client. The reason I didn't take him as a client was, no, they're not still married. They broke up. They broke up in 7 days, 8 days. The girl did a case on him. Divorce चल रहा है. वो चलेगा 2-3 साल. The reason why I didn't take him as a client was because I expect my clients to listen to me or else I cannot help them. So if he's listening to me, I can help him. But if he's not listening to me the first time, second time, I'm not going to, have a Harry Potter magic wand and just transform the way he thinks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he was paying me a lot of money. So that was the first time I actually rejected a client on face, like, cannot work with you, sorry. I told you this is going to happen. Right? Why did you opt for my services if you didn't need them? So either you can have a fear-based mindset or either, if you're working with someone, you're going to trust what they say. But emotions, I understand कि कभी कभार बहक जाता है इंसान.
Yeah. Emotions पे जोर नहीं है किसी का. In one of your talks, you mentioned that having too many options might lead to some unsatisfied situations. So, do you think this paradox of choice uh, is making people commitment phobic, or is this just another excuse to just escape from the responsibilities?
Hmm. इट इज़ मेकिंग पीपल कमिटमेंट फोबिक बट पीपल की भी ना अलग एजेस हैं उस टॉक में मैंने यही बोला था कि जो लोग 40 साल के ऊपर के हैं दे आर फाइंडिंग फुलफिलिंग रिलेशनशिप्स ऑल हाउ यू व्यू द द सिचुएशन जो यंग लोग हैं लाइक 20 25 दे आर लुकिंग एट इट लाइक एन ऑल यू कैन ईट बुफे कि आई met this girl, met that girl, met this girl, girls also कि I met this guy, he's nice but I want to meet someone तो वो थिंकिंग गलत है तो थिंकिंग की वजह से दे आर नॉट गेटिंग द रिजल्ट वो एक रिलेशनशिप बिल्ड नहीं कर पा रहे बट my clients who are 45 above they get married through online dating apps and their marriage is stable as well. It's not like कि there's something wrong with the person but अब वो ये लोग ऐसे follow कर रहे हैं जो young बंदे and in 5 years what's going to happen they're meeting what like at least 50 to 60 people minimum
Yeah.
I'm saying. तो that is going to be trauma right because trauma तो हो गई they're meeting so many people तो उनके एक दिमाग में वो comfort zone में आ गया कि अच्छा I'm meeting so many people. So that's a comfort zone. Now, whenever the thing goes bad with their partner, they would always go and go back to that because that's a comfort zone. Mostly girls actually. Because लड़कों का इतना comfort zone नहीं है honestly क्योंकि उनको प्रोफाइल उनको मेहनत करनी पड़ती है लड़कियों को नहीं करनी पड़ती. I understand कि क्वालिटी गंदी होती है जो लड़के टेक्स्ट कर रहे हैं 90% are not relevant.
Yeah.
But it's still an external source of validation to make you feel good.
Yeah, somebody compliments and stuff.
Bobs and vagina and stuff.
Going ahead, what do you think men do to make women go bananas? What actions do they do?
Inconsistency in behavior. I mean, if they're not congruent to their thoughts, words, and actions, they're not aligned. So, for example, if a guy is saying that, I love you, right? But he's not showing that, he's not giving the time, he's not giving the attention, that's an incongruence in thoughts, words, and actions. So, I think that is what makes anyone goes bananas because it's fake then. It's not authentic. Authenticity is when your thoughts, your words, and your actions are aligned.
The most common thing that I have when I talk to my female friends about it or other girls is that the guys pull away just suddenly. They're good, they're talking to you, you're in a happy relationship, not a relationship, but the talk is going good, and then suddenly they just pull away because of any reason. It could be any reason, their own reason. So, what do you think? What is the most common problem or the reason behind this?
I think guys generally go more towards convenience. Most of the guys I'm talking about, 95% of the guys who don't have an abundance mindset. They have a scarcity mindset क्योंकि उनको लाइफ में इतने अच्छे reactions नहीं मिले लड़कियों से या फिर results नहीं मिले dating में तो they find a first person who's giving them good reactions and they sort of love bombing कह रहे हैं उसको कि they start sharing what they feel and they feel too much also it's amplified right and the girl feels that okay this is the guy but the guy जब वो emotions कम हो जाते हैं he gets to know the girl and then he feels that okay I'm compromising with the quality of the person that I'm with because I want a different kind of girl then he's trying on other girls so attention to divide हो ही गई है because he's trying on getting more dating apps and more stuff right maybe it's not a committed relationship maybe it is that's their story but the pattern of always looking for something better I think that's messing up people.
Yeah, could be. So this is, you think, is the common reason for this.
Yeah.
So have any women reached out to you ever?
Yeah, a lot.
So what complaints do they have with men? I mean, I know about it. I can give you a long list, but what's your say on this? What complaints do you get or listen from women?
That he's dating multiple girls. What should I do? You know what to do. Why do you need me to tell you what to do? You know what to do, right? You just need to leave him.
Which is the most interesting thing that you have heard coming from a girl? That guy has done this or that.
This is funny. I was talking to this girl last week, and she was telling me she called me to take advice. Right? We know each other. We were acquaintances. So she was telling me that I'm hooking up with this guy in my office, and my boss is also hooking up with the same guy. And the guy is married. Guy is married. So he's hooking up with two girls in his office.
Was he the boss?
पता नहीं इतना नहीं पूछा मैंने. And she was like, what do I do? I was like, don't talk to your boss about it, first of all. She's going to fire you. Stop hooking up with him if you want your job. I mean, if you want to leave, leave, right? जो भी था, advice तो doesn't matter over there. मेरे को याद भी नहीं मैंने क्या बोलता है. It was on top of my head. But yeah, that was interesting. That was a weird situation. Women get yourself into like generally.
Yeah, long list. What do you think is one major thing that women misunderstand about men in dating?
I think women feel that all men are. It's not only women. I think the society like puts this image on men, and it's very common. Like this is the most common bullshit that you've heard everywhere. Like a man should be like a rock, right? You got to be like a rock, honestly. Like people say that okay, you should be more expressive, and women try to say that to you, right? Oh, be more expressive, be that. The moment the guy is expressive, you lose attraction. So,
Is it?
It is. It is. So, be expressive till a point that you're socially intelligent to know what to express where. Does it make sense? But a guy has different troubles. Like, you can share your problems with your friends. A guy cannot. He cannot share it with his family as well. Immediate family also, he cannot.
But communication is required, right? In a relationship when you're dating someone.
Communicate it, but he's not going to share his like list of problems and stuff. Like आपस में जो problems हैं, you can communicate and you can work on it. But most cases, I think, I think women are a little bit more confused, like how a man should be in the modern day, because there's so much advice like be yourself, just be yourself, and you'll find the right path. That's bullshit. Being yourself means acting on your emotions. अगर मेरे को I'm talking to a girl, she didn't text me, sending a long text क्योंकि मेरे को पसंद नहीं आया कि उसने मेरे को text नहीं किया. So I'm being myself. But is that attractive? That's not, right? So I'm being myself, but I'm also giving in my emotions, and that's not being competent. Women like a competent man. Competent man is someone who's calm in times of adversity as well. So. But then women are trying to make the man more emotional by telling him like express yourself, express yourself. When she starts expressing, attraction is gone, and then they're like, okay, I'm not attracted to him anymore.
So what you want to say to the women that how they should differentiate between a genuine connection and the games that people play with them?
That's a very good question. That's a very good question. Guys are going to hate me for this.
It's a time
very good
for the
question.
ladies to take the notes, I think.
Yeah, I think it is. Genuine connection versus?
The gaming tactics, the dating tactics.
I mean, you really want to know, like,
Yes, I
go
really
to
wanna know.
intricacies of body language. Like, if a person is meeting you and he's just saying, like, hey, nice to meet you, it's not a genuine connection. If the eyebrows are getting raised, that's sort of a genuine connection. He actually likes seeing you. Like, these are the intricacies, right? You said you wanted to go through the intricacies. But again, like, keeping it surface level, because I understand not many people know about body language reading. You have an intuition. Intuition is the top in dating. Like, if you have an intuition that, okay, there's something wrong, then there is something wrong. But if your intuition says that everything is good and nice and...
I mean, there's a lot of mixed signals in some cases where sometimes a guy is very nice, sometimes he's behaving like he's losing the interest, he's not there anymore, and third day he comes back to the same picture and he's good with you.
So see the reasons. Try to understand what the reasons are. Like, why is he losing interest? Is it really losing interest, or is it something else? Try to understand that. Rather than judging it, like, oh, he's losing interest. Can be anything, right? Like,
I mean, even if you talk to them regarding this, like, why are you doing this? Because to be honest, girls do communicate after a certain point when they see things are going that way. They come up to the communication and they ask, okay, what is the issue? Where are we? And are we on the same page? Or stuff like that. So I've seen a lot of mixed signals, and coming back to it, so one day you're super nice, and another day you might have
mixed
a
signals,
reason.
don't be there. Don't be there.
But
It's your choice as well, right?
But yeah, it's the choice, of course, both for men and women. But when you communicate, they're like they might be gaslighting you or maybe keeping you in some sort of game. That's what I'm talking about: the games and the genuine connections. So games are sort of they're good one day, 2-3 days yet they vanished, and then they came back.
Let me tell you about the games. Seduction is a game. It's a game, all right?
Yeah.
When you're playing the game, you enjoy it. When you get a real connection, a person expressing himself explicitly after the first 2-3 dates, then you think he's fucking needy. So you need to understand that seduction is a game. Okay, it's a very unethical thing that I want to say, or it's like very weird. People might find it weird, but okay, let's talk from a genuine perspective. Like, if a guy comes and he's just like, "I want to hook up with you," what are you gonna say?
Depends which zone I'm
If he
into.
just comes like directly, "I want to hook up with you," like randomly in a bar,
I mean, that's so creep, I would say.
he's not playing any games though. He's not playing
But
any
that's not
games.
the statement. Even if he wants to hook up, he can't
You
approach a
gotta
woman
play
like
the
that.
game. If you don't play the game, that's not seduction. That's not attraction. It is the game. But if a guy comes, right, talks to you a little bit, nice, socially calibrated, teases you a little bit, and says like, okay, make it a girl. Girl comes and she's like, okay, giving me a little bit of lap dance and stuff. That's seduction. That's the game.
Yeah.
But then if I meet a girl and she's like, oh, let's hook up, it's not interesting. Same for the girls as well, right? Because seduction is a game. So you don't want to play that games, but then you even don't want everything like completely straightforward and blunt. Because women's attraction is more emotional, men's is more logical. For a guy, he might like that bluntness if he has no options in his life. He might like that bluntness. For a woman, she's never going to like that bluntness because it's not making you feel anything, right? It's making you feel disgusted. You're probably despising the guy, like such a creepy guy, like coming up, telling me I want to hook up.
So you say intuition is the way.
I think intuition is the best. Even when I had no experience, I had intuition, but I never followed my intuition.
So we should follow or not?
You should follow, right? But you don't trust your own self. That's why, mostly women are asking advice. और ये मेरे को एक problem लगती है that women are oversharing with their friends. फिर सबके perspectives आ रहे हैं.
Yeah.
फिर तुम influence हो रहे हो. Then even if it's a good relationship, it's not going to survive.
All right.
You should not, you should not let other people enter your relationships, other people enter your business. But mostly what I've seen and I've experienced myself is girls share everything with each other. So, yeah, most girls, not all. Some girls are different as well. But most girls share everything with each other. और उससे क्या problem होती है कि nothing's private.
Yeah, then women give their advices. There's a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
Well, going ahead. So some people see dating coaches as manipulative tactics. How do you deal with it?
Manipulative tactics.
Like seeing you or portraying you as the dating coach as the manipulative tactics, that this guy is going to tell about some manipulating things to women, to men, in any case.
So I think a lot of people judge manipulation as bad, right? Manipulation is not bad. Now imagine a mother manipulating her baby to eat healthy food. Imagine a guy in love manipulating the girl, his ex, to get back with him because he wants to marry her. Is it bad? So it's not all bad. Manipulation happens in everyday life. Now coming back to the point, like most people judge dating coaches as manipulative. That's right. There's a reason for it because attraction has a big part of there's a big part of manipulation involved in attraction. Whether it's manipulation, whether it's persuasion, it's all that science broken down in layman terms, right? Again, there's a lot of other things, but I'm just talking about manipulation right now. So I don't think it's bad in any way. Now, coming to your question, which is how do I deal with people judging me that he's manipulative? I don't. Honestly, initially it mattered a lot to me. Like, oh, fuck, people are talking this about me, people are talking that about me. Not too much actually. थोड़ा बहुत मैटर करता था कि immediate family से अगर कुछ आ रहा है या फिर कुछ आसपास वाले लोगों से आ रहा है तो it did matter to me initially. But then over the period of years, I mean, I realized that this is my calling and people who judge me are not going to be with me for long. So
Definitely.
I don't deal with them, honestly. I do not. Like, what do I deal with? Like, if someone is... They don't do it on my face also, no? So that's a positive, I guess.
Yeah, that's the best part. And talking about your friends and family, when they got to know that you are into this industry and, dating, coaching, and telling people or maybe teaching people about how to deal in case of dating. How was their reaction? And how do still people react to it when you tell them that you are a dating coach?
So the funny thing is that my immediate family never judged me. They never judged me. My dad did say once like, "Oh, you're a dating coach. Oh, that's interesting. Just whatever you're doing, do the best." क्योंकि वो बाहर बहुत travel कर चुके हैं, बहुत ज़्यादा उनको foreign exposure है. My not immediate family, इसको क्या कहते हैं? Extended family. Extended हो गई ना, right? Like cousins.
Cousins and everyone, yeah.
I had my birthday, right? It was 25th birthday. Call me for a dinner. I go there and they're just like, "Oh, what's this video about? What are you doing in your life? You studied abroad and all of that." I never met them after that. I met them once. थोड़ी problems हुई थी तो मिला था. But I had my sisters. I actually regret that. But yeah, I can just cannot take judgmental people in my life because this is what I do. This is what I love doing, right? So,
Yeah.
और अगर हमें साल में एक बार ही मिलना है, right? Like, of course, everyone is busy in their lives. साल में एक बार मिलना है. We should have a positive memory of each other. And that's what I realized that if they're judging me, then of course my friends are also judging me. ये भी हुआ था मेरे साथ. My friends were judging me, and that was harsh. Yeah, that was quite harsh actually, because I thought that, you know, this person I know since like 17, 18 years of my life, how would they fucking judge me? तो उसके बाद मेरा एक mindset बन गया था, अपने काम में मेरे को best बनना है. Let the world judge me, give them more to judge. जितना ज़्यादा दूंगा उतना better है. So yeah, that happened. With my extended family, I didn't talk after that. बात होती है ऊपर से. I generally don't like doing all of that now because they can judge all they want. I'm still going to do the same shit.
But talking about the people now you meet, the new people that you meet, strangers, let's say, you go to them and of course you're confident in speaking and talking to them. But definitely this question comes, what do you do? That's a basic question. So when you tell them, what do you do?
समझ नहीं आता किसी को, वो hitch बोलते हैं, love guru. See, my work is more technical. Like if you get deeper into it, it's a lot more technical than this love guru and hitch stuff, right? Social skills coaching, it's more like dating coaching, you can say. You know, so I generally tell them I'm unemployed CEO.
Unemployed CEO.
I am a CEO, I know in my head, but I'm unemployed right now.
So what
क्या explain करूँ मैं? Parties में explain करूँ
Do they
लोगों
tell
को?
you something like how do you do?
Intrigue
Or
हो जाते हैं
maybe
ज़्यादातर लोग, so I just
कैसे
don't.
करते हो? Or maybe sometimes they're like, okay, teach us also.
हाँ, तभी मैं बात नहीं करता इसके बारे में, because then I also feel that especially with a lot of guys, whenever I'm talking to an Indian guy, making it clear,
Yeah.
क्योंकि scarcity mindset Indian लड़कों का ज़्यादा है,
Okay.
तो they would always come to dating. और फिर अब मैं 12 घंटे काम कर रहा हूँ सुबह,
Yeah.
फिर मैं बाहर जा रहा हूँ पार्टी करने, फिर मेरे को एक बंदा मिल रहा है and then he's talking about dating. Who wants to do that, right? तो I will talk to him about anything else. मैं बताता नहीं हूँ. I generally don't tell.
Okay.
हाँ, but if I'm romantically interested in a person, I would tell, because then there's no point of hiding stuff. But the way to tell is also very different. It's not like
Yeah,
immediately.
she'll figure out
I'm a
from the
dating
bro
coach.
thing, right?
Most of them.
Today or
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah.
So how do you ensure that your coaching promotes the genuine connections other than being sounding it like manipulative tactics or not getting them into the game or something?
What do you mean? I teach the game.
I mean, they go for the genuine connections. They don't fall for any games. People whom you're coaching.
They don't fall for any games. They're generally the ones who play games. I'm kidding. No, mostly it's most focused on genuine connections, but of course some people abuse the power as well. This is
Yeah.
the power I'm, giving to people. Right? This coaching is actually a very big.
Vardhan.
No, it's a power. With
Yeah,
big power
Vardhan you're
comes
giving.
big. Vardhan में power होगी नहीं होगी मेरे को नहीं पता. But this is actually a power. Social skills, learning it step by step is a power. It's going to change your life. I tell people not to use it for evil. Some people do. That's the reality of it. It's knowledge. You can use knowledge either ways. So I try to control it as much as I can by, doing quality checks, making sure that we don't have any people who are married in any circumstances. कभी कभार research के लिए मैंने might have worked with married people once or twice, but it's just for research purpose, because I want to understand what's going on in their mindset, their beliefs, so I can, curate more type of research and content based on that, so that how do you not get into that situation. So I've done that once in my life, but that's not a regular scene. That's not like that's not the kind of cases I take. Now you remember that case, I think we were there and that call came to me and this guy was giving me a case in Mumbai to go and talk to I did not accept it. So that's how we do the quality check. क्योंकि वो फिर manipulative वाला case था. You know, the guy is telling me to go to Mumbai or maybe send one of the coaches to meet the girl his brother is dating, to make his brother to show his brother that she's wrong for him. So that's very highly manipulative. That's unethical as anything.
Do you get the clients who are divorced? I mean,
A lot of them.
so what is different when you teach a divorced person and you teach a single person? I mean, the one who's not married.
Divorced बंदे का confidence टूट जाता है social stigma की वजह से कि मेरे को अब कोई बंदी नहीं मिलेगी, I'm not gonna get married, no girl is gonna be interested. क्योंकि इंडिया में फैमिली का सीन बहुत ज़्यादा है,
Yeah.
बाहर नहीं है.
Yeah, we have all have been raised like that, I think.
हाँ, तो डाइवोर्स का एक स्टिग्मा आ जाता है कि ये लड़के में कुछ गलती होगी, ये होगा वो होगा. सो उनका कॉन्फिडेंस इतना ज़्यादा ब्रेक हो जाता है कि दे डोंट नो लाइक दे एंड प्लस वो 3-4 साल छोड़ देते हैं डेटिंग गेम उसके बाद, क्योंकि फाइनेंशियली भी ट्रॉमेटाइजिंग है, इमोशनली भी ट्रॉमेटाइजिंग है. The difference I see is that जो single बंदा है, he probably might want multiple casual relationships initially before getting into a relationship. जो divorced बंदा है, he is very careful where he's stepping. He's very careful because he cannot fuck up again. कुछ होते हैं hardcore बंदे जो like head on into trouble again. Oh, second time doesn't matter, I'm rich. Third time, fourth time, that's cool.
Yeah.
But generally people are not like that. They're very careful about the kind of girls they're meeting. They have to be very careful क्योंकि एक बार problem जब हो जाती है उसके बाद second time it's damage control mostly.
So since we are talking here about divorce, we just talked about divorce people, and you just mentioned that this 1% of the population in India who are getting divorced. So what do you think is one of the common reasons of getting divorced these days?
Compatibility नहीं है, values match नहीं करती, arranged marriages चल रही हैं.
I mean, I've seen cases also where two people are compatible, but they have nobody's cheating.
Families
also.
घुस गई हैं.
Yeah,
Families
could
घुस
be-
चुकी हैं life में
Could
ना.
be a big reason.
So that is the biggest reason actually. Families stopping your relationships is the biggest reason in India because they're so codependent on each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was talking to this one guy and he's like, I really love this girl, but you know my family is telling no. मैंने उसको ग्राफ दिखाया कि 30 के बाद तू फैमिली के साथ 5 से 10% टाइम स्पेंड करने वाला है अपनी फैमिली के साथ. विद योर पार्टनर्स गोना बी 40 to 45%. व्हाट मैटर्स मोर. बट फैमिली को कैसे समझाऊँ, ये मैं एक जॉइंट फैमिली में रह रहा हूँ बट आई एम स्टेइंग इन बैंगलोर. आई एम लाइक जॉइंट फैमिली कहाँ पे, कहीं और थी. सो आई एम लाइक तू जॉइंट फैमिली में कैसे रह रहा है, तेरा माइंड वहाँ पे रह रहा है. यू नॉट इन अ जॉइंट फैमिली, यू शुड फकिंग गो आउट विद द गर्ल. मैंने उसको ऐसे नहीं बोला डायरेक्टली क्योंकि मैं डायरेक्टली नहीं बोलता, राइट. वो बंदे को खुद समझना पड़ता है वरना वो double minded रहेगा. So I told him like, why are we even on this call? You know what to do, right? You get like, you love her, that's all what matters. The guy still didn't go ahead because of the family and all. और अलग रह रहा है बैंगलोर में, but दिमाग उसका अपने big household, what is it called? Joint family, right? So उसका दिमाग वहाँ पे है. And because of that, it's a limiting belief. Or he left that girl and now he's unhappy as fuck.
All right.
Yeah. So I don't think like family is the biggest problem. Hope it's not for some people. And if your family's cool, then it's cool. But intercaste marriages and all that, right? In love, you don't see all of that, but family sees all of that. Maybe comes down to compatibility a little bit because a religion is different and, you know, the lifestyle is probably similar. But the way of living is maybe a little bit different. Like, जो praying हो गया और जो भी हो गया, eating habits. So if you can adjust with that, I think it's good to go. Don't listen to your family. I mean, there's no point. There's no point listening to your family if you are sensible enough. Most people are not sensible enough because they have less experience. So if you have experience, if you know this is the girl, you have dated like 6-7 girls, and you know this is the girl that, you know, I want to get married to, do not listen to your family. Listen to yourself, listen to your intuition.
Okay. So after listening so many cases and dealing with a lot of people, you know, they have their own issues and things going on, and we also see things around. Do you believe in love?
Straight up. Yeah, I think I would still like to.
Do you actually currently?
Currently,
After all these things that
I do
revolves
believe in it,
around
but I
you,
just also believe in it. I'm not at a stage in my life where I'm finding love right now.
not right now, but further going ahead, because now you've dealt with a lot of cases personally also and professionally also. Your
Hmm.
profession and your personal is sort of the same. You've heard about people's cases. I mean, I'm not into this profession, but since still I know about people's cases, what's happening around in the world. So similarly, it affects our personal life so much. And especially when it comes to love, I think most of the people, they don't believe in it,
For
or
me,
they don't believe in
I
the
believe in
actual
it.
love.
I believe in it. It's not like, I've seen happy marriages. I've seen my brother's marriage is also good marriage. I mean, I believe in it. But right now, it's not for me.
So
Right
what's
now, my
love for you?
priority is different. Right now, my priority is different. There would be a time in my life where I would prioritize love. But right now is not the time for me.
But what is love for you?
It's like being selfless and just emotions, like it's a chemical reaction in your mind, actually.
Everything is connected to science.
It's all
Yeah.
connected to science, right? So, but you feel, okay, I think I'll tell you how you know that you're with the best partner
Hmm.
when you want to be your best self, your best version. You want to, for me, it's like my mindset, right? My mindset improves with a person. I know that's the right person,
Hmm.
which really happens, honestly. It really happens. So, yeah, I think that's now, now you can tag it as love, you can tag it as companionship, whatever. But I think that is the best relationship. Like if a person, if you are with a person and they're pulling you down, or you feel that you're not your best self, maybe whatever reason, it's too many fights or dragging you down in any other way, that's not a good relationship. And that relationship should end. Technically, India में नहीं हो रहा end क्योंकि 1% divorce rate. But technically, it should end and you should move on because life is short. So you need to be with a person you can actually build something up with, and fall in love with. Rise in love with, actually, not fall in love with. Yeah.
That means the dating master believes in love. So
I'm
people
open
should do.
minded. I'm open minded to it. Yeah, of course.
Okay, then people should do too. Taking as a tip from you.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about modern dating and modern dating terms. So we've heard about the terms such as situationships, breadcrumbing, gaslighting, and many more are there. So how do you think with all these things, uh, people are using a different approach in the dating or relationships?
What do you mean? Like the different approach, as in they're love bombing people, they're gaslighting people, they're
I mean,
flaking and
people are
ghosting.
confused because sometimes even we are in a genuine connection, but we have that thing in mind that we not become the victim of situationship and might not land into gaslighting, and sometimes we don't even know we are getting stuck by it. So people are getting confused in case of this. So they're having using a different approach when it comes to dating, being extra aware, I would say.
But that's also a problem, right? Like if you're just looking for red flags, you'll always find red flags. Like if you're driving, right, try to look for circles. Then you'll miss out on the squares and the triangles. So that's also a problem, I would say. Like if you're just looking for red flags, that's what you majorly want to focus on.
And how to save ourselves from this.
Have a good screening process, follow your intuition, uh, see what the guy actually wants, understand his desire, I would say. Like, what is his desire? Of course, like, you cannot say that, okay, he just wants to get laid. If a guy is saying that he doesn't want to get, he's lying. Every guy does. Why not? Woman does too. Like, it's should be mutual. But yeah, try to go underneath the surface level conversations where you're connecting with a person on travel, lifestyle, passions. Try to go deeper. Try to understand another person's past traumas. Try to understand where their beliefs come from. Right? Once you understand their beliefs, you'll be able to predict their behavior.
And
Yeah, we cut
going
it
ahead,
off.
have you heard about this term called soft launching
Soft launching on social media, as you
on
mentioned.
social media?
Yeah, soft
This is
launching
very
a
common these
relationship,
days.
like just putting some stories and telling people that you're dating someone, almost dating someone.
So why do you think people are doing this these days? They want to
Men or
build a
women?
both are doing it in their own ways. Depends.
Most men get fucking stuck into that because of the girl that they're dating. The girl tells them that, oh, why aren't you posting me on social media? And he's thinking, यार एक ही लड़की से तो मिल रहा हूँ, क्या करना है इसको गुस्सा करके डाल ही देता हूँ फोटो.
So you saying
Most
it's
men.
genuine.
Most
You saying it's genuine. I mean, you
Genuine कहाँ
just
से हुआ ये?
you
कहाँ से genuine हुआ ये?
no. So there are two things. It could be genuine that a person really wants to show it to the world, and it could be another thing that they want to build a trust in the relationship. Or
No,
maybe
they
for the
want to
girl
build a
also.
trust, but they don't want to break the other person's heart, which is mostly for men. They lose out on their options. Most men don't have any options. They don't have a lot of options. They have less. Most men. I'm talking about the gender audience, right? So they're just thinking logically about it because men are logical. So they're thinking here, she's getting pissed for no reason. I'm not putting the photo. Don't have any options either. Like I have like 2-3 options. There's no point of getting her pissed. Soft launch.
But do they do it genuinely as well?
Well, genuine, most men are pushed to it. Yeah. Generally, also people are doing it like
Because now you're not sure about the relationship at this point. You don't know.
the problem is that people think too much. Like you have like 2,000, 1,000 followers. No one cares about your
Like,
relationship.
people do care. If I upload a picture with a guy, I'm gonna get the messages.
Messages of guys who are trying to be with you.
No, from my friends also. Like,
Oh, who's this guy? How's it?
Yeah,
बस
who's
वो
this
एक
and
second
what's
का
up?
pump है और फिर वो down है, right?
And similarly with the guy as well, I think that who's this girl and what is up with you, and totally depends on the type of picture you're putting.
मेरे को तो नहीं आते. करो मैसेज करो. पूछो कौन है?
I'm telling you a picture. I'm sure you'll get 10 at least messages.
No, I did
More than
first
that.
one. No, I did not. One. I got one.
But definitely, you might not, but people are.
People do. Okay.
And this world really cares. And especially when you're putting on social media, they care.
They do.
They do care.
Yeah, that's good. I don't care about social media itself. So I mean, why do you care about social media and people caring? It's all like so people pleasing mindset, don't you feel? Like
Yeah,
okay,
it is, but
I'm thinking कि ये एक follower जिससे मैं 1 साल पे भी नहीं मिला और या फिर 2 साल पहले मिला हूँ या फिर अच्छी दोस्त है 3 बार मिला हूँ साल में. She cares about who I'm with. Who gives a shit? Like if you give a shit, then you're weak mentally.
that is a fair point. But
Now
on the
get your
other
parents
hand,
and your families and your extended families on Instagram and they see that and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, who cares? ग्राफ देखो ना. लॉजिकल रहो. ग्राफ देखो. ग्राफ में this 5%, 5 to 7% time after 30 you're spending with your parents. जनरल बंदे का. अब कोई बंदा है जिसने काम ही नहीं किया लाइफ में, फैमिली के घर पे रह जा रहा है और नहीं निकल रहा, वो उसकी कहानी अलग है. वो जनरल नहीं है. ग्राफ में क्या है कि इट्स 40 to 50% टाइम आप अपने बेटर हाफ के साथ स्पेंड कर रहे हो. सो अब इतने लोगों का क्यों सोचना? या तो फिर डालो ही मत अगर सोच रहे हो तो. मत डालो. आई थिंक दैट्स बेटर. डोंट पोस्ट इट. बट देन द गर्ल विल बी लाइक, ओह ही इज hooking up with other girls. That generally happens. That generally happens. So then it's like a crisscross situation. So you put it, you be mentally strong. Don't think about people. Because people don't add any value to your life. 90% of the people you think are close to you, they're not adding much value to your life. You still have to, as a man, you have to take care of your own self. You have to be self-reliant. You know, you have to do shit your own self. So इतने लोगों को सोच के साथ में नहीं चला सकते. That's not how it works.
I mean, you're right. But when I talk about social media thing, unfortunately now social media has become now the identity. Let's say if, for example, a celebrity uploads a picture with a new person.
Celebrity
comes-
की बात अलग हो गई ना
Yeah,
यार.
I'm just giving you an example. It just comes as a news. Now this person is with this. Maybe they are not together, but it comes on the media. So similarly, we are not that famous. Let's say a general person is not that famous, but when they're putting the picture with the girl or with the guy, so I think they're doing expecting some sort of a validation from the people. And
देखो मैं तो लड़कों को एक चीज़ रिकमेंड करूँगा कि अगर तुम्हारे 2000 फॉलोअर से कम है, कोल्ड अप्रोच सीखो, डिलीट कर दो सोशल मीडिया.
best.
Delete it.
तो कहानी ही खत्म.
कहानी खत्म. Delete it.
I think most of the men are looking forward to delete their social media.
But again, if your business depends on your social media, like my coaching profile, I have a
Yeah.
coaching profile, then you cannot do that shit, right? So personally, I don't use Instagram that much.
You're not that active. I see your reels all the time.
Team manages it. no?
Okay.
Yeah,
Team
I'm
manager.
not.
All right.
Yeah.
So you must have heard about the term ghosting, and there's also another term called zombie, which means when you get your ex or any past person back in your life. So how would you suggest such people to not get emotionally carried away when the past person or an ex comes back?
Okay. I think it's mostly a scarcity mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're living in scarcity, X is coming back. The reason why it's a past relationship is because it didn't work out. Either try and make it work out and just commit and get back together and then work on things, or either completely get out of that phase. Don't be in the middle, like just, having physical stuff with the ex because intimacy was there, and just elongating that experience and that relationship, because for one relationship to grow, one has to expire. So if you want to grow a new relationship with a person, the relationship with the ex has to expire, or else it would not give space for the other relationship to grow. Yeah, that's what I feel. So if you're single and you're not seeing anyone, scarcity mein ho, then you probably do get back. And if you think the compatibility was nice, I mean,
So as far as I've seen in today's world also, what people are doing now, especially who want to get married, uh, they're not getting any new people because it's very hard these days to get mingle up and maybe compatible and
that's a
build that
mindset
bond.
thing now. Abhi, I was talking to one of my clients. He was like, before joining you, my
Hmm.
mindset was like, it's very hard to meet a new person, build that thing up.
Yes.
It's very hard to actually trust another person, go from scratch.
Hmm.
But following effective strategies, efficient strategies, now strategies क्या हैं कि frameworks हैं हमारे जो वो use कर रहा था. Frameworks as in like how to approach and how to talk and how to form a deeper connection quicker.
Mm-hmm.
So he was using all those frameworks. I'm not going to say techniques or tactics because it's actually a framework. Techniques और tactics तुम बना सकते हो उस पर.
Hmm.
So he was saying कि मेरा वो experience रहा था तुम्हारे से पहले, अब मेरे को नहीं लगता वो सब, लेकिन तो वो एक mindset issue है कि
Mm-hmm.
बहुत मेहनत लगेगी, ये होगा नहीं होगा. You got to do it. जितनी एज, सो डेटिंग में तुम या तो आगे बढ़ रहे हो या पीछे जा रहे हो.
Mm-hmm.
जितनी एज बढ़ रही है उतना डेटिंग पूल श्रिंक हो रहा है, राइट? सो इफ यू नॉट गोइंग फॉरवर्ड, यू गोइंग बैकवर्ड, यू नॉट स्टैग्नेंट. सो इफ यू थिंक यू स्टैग्नेंट, you're doing stupidity. Always try to go forward. Always try to work on your dating life.
And as everyone suggests, never go back to ex.
Depends. Like, fuck everyone. See, that's the whole point.
I mean, everyone has, what we have seen around and
Why
coming
not
to
go
that.
back with your ex if it was a misunderstanding, it was a beautiful relationship and you
I mean,
broke
there
up
is a
with her?
reason that's why he's an ex.
Maybe it was a misunderstanding, Don't listen to people for your love life. लोग जाते हैं में and they hire like a astrologer and they're like, okay, ये बताएगा मेरे को. I had this fun girl I was dating, the one I told you, like 5 days relationship, right? And this girl goes to her astrologer and she's like, okay, tell me about this guy. The astrologer wanted to hook up with her and the guy is like, this guy's gonna die in 5-6 years. I'm like, bliss. As Hitler says, death is one brief moment of pain and then endless bliss. So I was like, bliss. Right? 6 साल में मरने वाला हूँ. I don't care. I don't actually. I, अभी मैंने इतना रिसर्च नहीं किया, मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है. मेरी अपनी साइंस मेरे लिए ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. बट वो चीज़ मेरे को थोड़ा अजीब लगा, राइट? एंड देन शी कम्स टू मी एंड शी लाइक, dude, you're gonna die in 6 years and that's, I'm doing you a favor by being with you. I'm like, कोई भी stupidity भर देता है इंसानों के दिमाग में, right? So like if you're vulnerable, anyone can use you, manipulate you and make you stupid. So imagine if, two people are married, I go and I'm like, this guy's gonna die, I'm an astrologer, right? This guy's gonna die in like 6 years. And they go like, oh, you're gonna die. That's stupid. That's stupid, right? So whatever time you have, enjoy that. Rather, be in the present moment. 6 साल बाद क्या पता कल दुनिया खत्म हो जाए. There's a war going on in Russia and Ukraine right now. I mean, there's nuclear. Russia has. Never mind. That's a different topic. I was researching about this. I don't know why.
All right. Okay, moving on. Okay, so yap trapping is a new thing in the dating world where one person lures over the other one, over explaining things, talking more than the topic, and taking a lot of time to stick to the same topic, or maybe not let the other person speak. So this is another one of the manipulative tactics that people have been using in their dating scenes, or you might have come across of such cases. So when such cases are happening, how do you suggest people to deal with it?
See, I think yap trapping is like oversharing and trying to get the other person invested in you by oversharing and relating on like some past traumas or maybe something positive, whatever, right? Relating
Yes.
basically. I think that's stupid manipulation. That's not good manipulation.
Yeah, sometimes we are just listening to the other person just because we want to know about them. I'm just like, let's say if I'm talking to you or any other person, I'll be like nodding and talking and listening to you so that I could be a good listener and get to know more about you. But this is also one of the other manipulative tactics because other person is not letting you speak. They are not asking you the question. They're just framing their
हाँ, तो
sentences as
I
telling
think,
their own,
I
own
realize
story.
this with a lot of my, not my clients in general, but I realize this with a lot of guys that when they do this, they're emotionally at a weaker point,
Mm-hmm.
right? So one of my coaches or teachers, not coaches, teachers in Singapore, he told me the story, right? There was a king, and the king had like a bunch of concubines.
Mm-hmm.
So he killed the queen, and he's like, I'm gonna make one of these concubines the queen. ठीक है? Then he gets the girl. Concubine is like a, right? Like,
No, I don't know.
you don't know concubines?
No.
You want to put me in that spot?
I don't know. Let me get the knowledge.
Basically, a hooker, right?
Okay.
But
Just a modern word of it. Maybe.
yeah. So concubines. Yeah. So the king got a bunch of concubines. He's like, okay, I'm going to kill my queen, make this one a queen. Now they go into the palace and they had like 300 rooms. He's like, okay, I want you to do anything you want. You can do everything, but just don't go in that particular room. Just do not go over there. And he passes her the keys. Right? So who's stupid in this story? The king. Because he's oversharing. If you don't want her to go in that room, do not fucking share the keys to that room. I'm bad at storytelling with this one because I forgot the story. But the point being that guys overshare, like, oh, I have this problem in my life, that problem in my life. Like, for example, if a guy is having a bad day and if he shares that with a girl, like, oh, I woke up, I went outside my house, a bird took a shit on me. There was this car and there was this mud puddle that came onto me. Went to the office, my boss is a dick. I was working and, my laptop shut down and it's just not working. Do you think the girl would get attracted? No, right?
No.
He can just say, hey, sweetheart, I had a bad day. Everything is under control. I'm going to call you later. That's all. That's how a man should fucking do this thing.
Clear
Rather than
conversation.
making her a therapist.
Cool. All right. What's your say on, since you're talking about modern dating terms, so there is also another term, modern monogamy, or must have heard about open relationships. What's your say on that?
You think modern monogamy as open relationship is the same thing?
No, I don't think that.
Okay.
That's different, of course. Open relationship where two people are clear about it. Modern monogamy, you have to explain.
Whatever works for you, do that. I mean, who am I to say no?
I mean, monogamy, when you talk about monogamy, it is a different thing. But when you add modern into it, it comes out to be a different meaning. So how do you explain this?
Modern monogamy. See, the thing is that, okay, like you're talking to one person, you're monogamous with one, but you're talking to other people.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you mean. Other people with a romantic interest or just socially talking?
When we talk to somebody, even in the case of situationship or something, we do it romantically, not in the social way. So I'm talking in case of a dating thing.
Romantically कर रहे हैं दूसरे लोगों से बात.
I mean, we can do it because sometimes
Is it
we are
healthy?
we are not interested, but other person is. They are giving us the hints, and somehow looking at some of their things, or we got interest in a thing, we go towards that side.
These are just
sometimes.
new words, like this has been going on since ages, right? These are just new words and you're just tagging it with modern dating and all of that. But do you know about female hypergamy? That's a part of female nature. It's about every woman is going to have multiple, you're going to get angry. But every woman is going to have multiple plates that she's spinning. Applies to everyone. It's female nature. I hated this concept when I was in a long-term relationship. I was reading this book. But it's real. Every woman is going to have multiple guys spinning. One is going to be a lover, one is going to be the provider, and whatever. She's going to have like 5-6 guys spinning, one is going to be on the hook. And at that age, when she's at that particular age, she's going to see who's the most desirable person for a long-term prospect. It might not be the lover. It might be the provider, depending on long-term values, right? So ये बहुत पहले से चल रहा है. It's a part of female nature. Now it's termed as modern dating, modern monogamy. But it's actually a part of female nature. Now, talking about men, like you might think that, okay, I'm male chauvinistic and I'm taking men's side, but men are hopeless romantics in most cases, initially.
Hopeless romantic.
They're hopeless, yeah.
Hopeless romantic.
Initially.
Yeah.
Once they get hurt, then they sort of get into the player vibe and they want to learn more about it. That's exactly what happened with me. That's exactly what happens with a lot of my clients. Once they get hurt, they want to figure this shit out so it doesn't happen again. Once they figure this shit out, then they realize female nature, which is hypergamy, one core concept of it. Once they realize hypergamy, then they become hypergamous themselves.
So you just said hopeless romantic initially. So when do you say men actually participate in the relationship, or they actually take interest? I mean, what are the hints or what are their actions that suddenly or maybe
If he's
slowly gets
taking you out
changes?
and introducing you to, his friends and his family, I think that's a big step.
I think it has become very common in this world. Introducing to the family, to friends, it's now
No,
very
I don't think
common.
so. Especially not in Indian culture. I don't think so. Because फिर expectations family की बढ़नी शुरू हो जाती हैं. So,
I mean, depends family to family. Or maybe they have
हाँ,
made this
true.
so common in front of the family that my friends are gonna come, be it female, be it male, and
वो आप
this is
बहुत एक general audience की बात कर रहे हो, which is, people like us.
yeah.
I'm talking about the generals right now. It's not very general to introduce someone new to your family, and it's not. Honestly, people have like big fears and thoughts कि क्या सोचेंगे सब, क्या people pleasing mindset है सबका तो.
All right.
सबका नहीं, मतलब 99%.
So that's what modern monogamy is about. And this
Modern
exists.
monogamy is just a tag. It's
Yeah,
just a
you just
new
said
tag.
it
Yeah.
already exists since
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
You've just given the new term, maybe.
Mhm.
All right. So those were all the modern dating terms. And now let's go towards some people who wants to know about their own personal dating scenes and want some tips from you. They are some of your followers, maybe some of your fans. So I'm gonna read out some of the confessions that
Sure,
we
go
got
ahead.
from you, that we got from people, and you have to give the tip according to their situations of life.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. Let's see.
Okay, let's get into the confession segment.
Sure.
By confession segment, I mean
What do you
there
want to
are
confess?
no, I don't want to confess. Uh, there are some followers and fans of yours who have sent us their scene
Questions.
of their dating life, and they want suggestion or maybe a tip from you. What should be done in their particular cases? So I'm gonna read out one by one.
You're gonna put me on spot.
And now let's get you on the job for some time.
Cool. I just hope they're not all your problems.
No. No, not mine. There's few people.
Okay.
So the first confession is from Varuna, who met this guy on a dating app and everything was going so well, had great conversations, shared laughs, and I felt like we genuinely clicked. But recently, he has been telling me that he's really busy with the work. I respect hardworking people and ambition, but I can't help but wonder why, if this is the just way his way of pulling back. Is it possible that he's losing interest, or should I be more patient and trust that he's just caught up with life? How do I not
Interesting.
overthink about this?
I think values in this case are different. The values for the guy and the values for the girl. If the guy is being honest, that is again an if question, right?
But how do you figure out?
क्योंकि उसके लिए ambition और hard work एक value है, इसके लिए it's more about time and togetherness.
That could be one of the things. What if the guy is just covering it out just by telling?
So there's so many variables to consider that she knows what's the best decision. It's on her intention. If she feels that he's covering up,
Yeah.
or maybe he's hooking up with someone else on the side, then to leave him. और वो behavior से पता लग जाता है. छोटे छोटे behaviors like phone ऐसे उल्टा रखा हुआ है. It's very small behaviors, right? You can
Oh.
get to know all of that. But if the guy is actually not doing that, because if she actually sees him working and all of that, then there's a conflict of values. तो वो conflict of values, अब उसको सोचना है कि वो रहेगा, or else the guy is going to work on it. That she's going to get to know with the conversation that she has with the guy.
And maybe the actions.
Depends. After the conversation, if the actions change, generally it won't change if the values are different.
All right. Okay, I hope this girl got the answer.
And what is the answer according to you?
Why are you asking me?
I'm just curious.
It's
Like,
you.
because I gave you an overview, I just want to know, is there
I
a
mean, it's
conclusion to
fair
it?
enough. I mean, whatever you said. Baki, a girl has to use her own mind.
But is there a conclusion to it?
This is a conclusion that girl should use her own instinct.
And what do you think the
Intuition.
girl is going to do?
Girl will see what happens next
How?
by talking to him and maybe looking at the actions, if the actions and the words are aligning together, or maybe they are matching or not.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, cool.
Okay, going ahead. Hi, this is Trisha from Pune. I'm 26. I have been dating two people at the same time because I genuinely like both of them. But now one of them is talking about introducing me to their family. Should I come clean, choose one, or just let the fate decide?
So she's in a relationship with two people.
She is dating two people. Dating could be like
इसी वजह से मैंने
having
कंपनी
one.
खोली थी अब इसको क्या एडवाइस
because you don't want to be in that situation, but
But
you
you get
land up.
stuck.
Yeah,
हाँ, दिल बड़ा है, प्यार
दिल
ज़्यादा है.
बड़ा है. हाँ.
तो honest नहीं है intentions के साथ. That's also the problem.
अब इसको क्या करना चाहिए? She should go with the guy who's introducing her to the family, because of course after a certain time you think about marriage and stuff. And there's another guy also.
दोनों बंदों को मेरे पास भेज दो. दिखा दूंगा उनको. So they never get stuck in this kind of a situation. But अब open mind रख के, if I have to give an opinion, advice to her, go for an open relationship. I mean, technically that's what you're doing. And if it works for you, like, she should go for an open relationship. She cannot come clean. See, it's a frame that she set with these two guys, और वो frame पे वापस नहीं जा सकती. She cannot say that now I'm dating two guys. The guy is not going to be like, nice to meet you, bro. He's not going to be like that. तो या तो दोनों को छोड़ के open relationship देखो, जहाँ पे तुम और you hooking up with it. Like, that's if that's what you want. Like,
Yeah.
openness चाहिए थोड़ी, तो open relationship देखो. Or else, like, ऐसे नहीं select कर सकते ना, like with whoever you love more, I think just go with him. Not because just he's introducing to the family. अगर उससे ज़्यादा प्यार नहीं है and she loves the other guy more, then drop the guy immediately जो family से मिला रहे, क्योंकि फिर वो बात और deep चली जाएगी और वो सबको trauma पहुंचेगा.
Or maybe she should flip the coin.
What does that mean?
Two people flip
Joker
the
की
coin.
तरह. That's
Choose.
yeah.
All the very best to her. Okay, going ahead. I'm Shaurya from Gurgaon. I'm 35 years old. I have been divorced for 3 years now. And I've started dating someone very amazing, but I find myself constantly doubting if I can make marriage work the second time around. How do I move from my past fears and give this new relationship the chance that it deserves?
Interesting question. Actually, I have a lot of clients who go with the same sort of trauma. But also, once you are with the right person, you just feel it within you. You feel it in your bones. Like, okay, this is the right person I want to spend my life with. You do feel it. But हाँ, ये है कि after divorce, that feeling is going to be a little less. It's not going to be that intense. क्योंकि तुम जैसी वो feeling आएगी, you're going to try to cover it up. You're going to be like, okay, यही same feeling आई थी मेरे को पहले और मेरा कटा है. So I have to protect myself. This is a stupid feeling. But I think have to go with the intention and go for spirituality. Open yourself up to new experiences. You need to start trusting people, because that's what life is, right? Humans are mammals, right? So we need to interact with each other. We're social creatures. So building that trust with people is very important for him, because it's going to affect every aspect of his life or her life, sure.
So once you get in touch with a divorced man, especially for a girl, I'm talking about.
You cannot have a fear-based mindset for the rest of your life. You cannot live in fear for the rest of your life. You're not going to have a happy life, right? Like, fear-based mindset is like, oh, मेरा एक बार heartbreak हुआ है, so I always have to be in this. So you have to let it go. You can do, I don't believe in it, actually. I think it's past trauma healing and inner child. I don't believe in it. There's a reason. Because I think, like, if you consider a lot of Amazon tribes and everything, right? There's an initiation ceremony from being a boy to a man. Like, crocodile बना देते हैं किसी के पीछे पूरा tattoo करके, मतलब with sticks and shit. So that's the initiation ceremony. काफ़ी अलग-अलग tribes की चलती है. So I think, you going for inner child healing and you going for, again, it's just an opinion. It's my opinion. That's how I live my life, right? It's not for everyone. I think it's modern day feminization of masculine men, because it's making them weak, thinking about, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that thing. But at the end of the day, what are you doing? You're just confiding with some random dude by paying him money. Same with a therapist. Therapy leni chahiye. I'm all for mental health. I've taken it myself because I have so many people I'm dealing with. So when I was working with a US company, we had a therapist to keep us in check. So वो लेना चाहिए, but again, it's feminizing you for men. Yeah.
And how do you build the trust? Because once you're divorced, you already have the tag. I mean, unfortunately, but this is the part.
Social stigma.
Yeah, that people focus on, especially if the girl is single, she has never been married. She'll always see that the guy is divorced, and otherwise, also people judge so much sometimes when you have that tag.
Because देखो वही बात है ना कि you're only looking for circles, so you'll only find circles. You're not finding triangles and squares, right? So जो divorce बनता है, उसी का इतना डर है अपने दिमाग में कि other people are gonna judge me, other people are gonna judge me. उसके subconsciously behavior उस तरीके से होते हैं. There are people in this world who will not judge the divorced person, he can find a divorced person as well. There's so many options. He can find a person who does not think like that, right? But problem क्या है कि उसको एक excuse की तरह use करके they're not taking any action in their dating life क्योंकि past trauma तो है ही. So they don't want, they think that नया भी, if it's a relationship, it's going to be trauma. Yeah. So it's just an excuse based mindset.
All right.
Because I'll tell you honestly, like I've seen these, I've seen a lot of divorced people who come to me and they're like, it's not going to happen. I can't trust women. I cannot, because for man it's also financially, you know, like jitna bhi life mein usne kamaya hai, it's gone.
Yeah.
Right? So I met the girl last year, married her, pretty girl, and then
Poor.
10 साल जितनी मेहनत करी थी, all gone, right? So वो भी चीज़ है. But because of that, they're not able to trust. I have people who come on the program, they're like, I'm not able to trust. But then they meet another girl, they do the same mistake as well. Hopeless romantics.
Hopeless romantic. Okay, moving ahead. This is Nisha from Mumbai. I created a fake dating profile to test how people really react to my personality versus my looks. Now I'm talking to someone very amazing, but they don't know me, it's me. How do I come clean without ruining everything? This is shock.
This is just like utter stupidity. I think the girl is insecure about her looks. That's why she created a dating
No,
profile.
sometimes it's okay. I mean, it's not about being conscious about it. I mean, you can just do it for the fun. And now you land up talking to someone really genuine and you two are talking and it's going very well. And sometimes it's not only about the pictures, it's about the conversations.
Are you
that you-
crazy? In online dating profile, it's not about the pictures.
I mean, once, see, if let's say if I give you an example, I created a fake profile. You know, I matched with you. Now I'm talking to you. Now the conversation is going good. And for me, the conversation matters.
Because you are like looking at attraction at an emotional level. For
But
me,
if I
it's
tell
logical.
you that I am not that person, you might just go away.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because
So this
there's
is
a
what the
break-off.
question is: How
हाँ,
should
तो-
I tell this guy, or maybe should not tell this guy, or forget this guy, or what?
I mean, if you can, you should try at least. Try telling this guy, but he's not going to agree. You're breaking his trust from the
Day
get-go.
one.
So if he trusts you, he's stupid. But a normal guy, a guy who's doing good in his life, he's not going to be in need. For a guy, I would say, like, if a girl opens up about this, cut her off immediately. She's going to lie about every other stuff moving forward. If a girl wants to manipulate a guy, keep him for a year. इतनी conversations करा दो कि बंदा super invested हो जाए. Then open up after a year, making it emotional. That's manipulation. That's what I don't teach though, because इतना गलत नहीं करना किसी के साथ. I mean, dating is manipulation, but इतना गलत नहीं करना किसी के साथ.
Yeah. Okay, this is Shrikant from Bangalore. He says, I still believe in old school romance, the flowers, handwritten notes, and long conversations, late night walks, and so on. But it feels outdated in today's swipe right culture. How do you say I can stay true to my values without coming off as out of touch and becoming the victim of the latest dating tactics?
See, you cannot wish the world was any different. You cannot go back to prehistoric times. You know, I love caveman times. Get a fucking saber tooth and hook up with a girl. The times have changed. You got to change with the time. If you don't change with the time, write 10 love letters and get rejected.
I mean, not
एक
typically.
love letter पे
There
आया
is this
this-
just a belief. I mean, people who, especially who are millennials, they have this belief because they're still looking for that old school love. I mean, the things, the song that we grew up with.
I mean, it depends on how you look at it. I mean, you're overcomplicating things. You're thinking about the swipe culture is wrong. Application के through नहीं मिलना चाहिए. You're judging a medium of meeting people. And you're like, इसमें से हर एक बंदा मेरे को जो मिलता है वो ऐसे ही होता है. But people have individuality, right?
Yeah.
So you might meet that person who also believes in that old school love. And I think it's all in the head. क्या होता है old school love? What is modern love?
Modern love, you teach about it.
What is
Modern
old school
dating.
love? तो
I
अब
mean,
उसमें
old
से किसी
school-
को शादी करनी होती है वो old school हो गया फिर.
Old school is the thinking. Old school is not only in the dating thing. Old school means you are in this modern world, but you still follow those norms that you learned when you were growing up. Because when people like us, I mean, especially who were born in between 1988 to 96.
Technology and basically
Yeah.
that's what you mean. He has to get accustomed. अब मैं बोलूँ कि यार computers आ गए. So I don't want to use computers for my business. I want to do the notebook thing. Am I going to succeed in business? Same thing, you got to evolve with time. You can say old school, but you got to be modern.
Okay, put an old school touch, but in a modern way.
Exactly. Evolve with time. You can use love letters. I had this article written. I'll probably attach a link somewhere. When to use the love letter for the best effect.
Love letters work in this day.
No, not in the
No, it
initial bit
doesn't.
of the interaction. Once you're in a relationship, you can make it work, but too much effort. Like again,
Yeah.
you love the
Who will
person.
take a paper and do it?
No, but people in love, yeah, they would do it. So,
Okay.
but there's a certain time that you should give a love letter to have the maximum impact emotionally on a woman or on a guy. उसके बारे में नहीं जाऊँगा, वो एक अलग trajectory हो जाएगी. There's an article written on it, so I'll add a link over there.
Have you given or received any so
I've
far?
received a lot.
So far.
I've given one. I've received a lot. Given one in 11th grade. Yeah.
Not so far.
Last to last year I got.
But you're not
few.
old school, right? That's also the case.
I don't know.
Okay. Moving on. So we have Aryan here, who is 28 years old, who recently got out of a long-term relationship, and he says that I'm trying to get back into dating, but honestly, it's now terrifying. It feels like I don't know what am I doing anymore. The apps feel like a whole new world, and I don't even know where to start. How do I get my confidence back and put myself out there?
There's a lot of information available on the internet. You gotta take action. You gotta forget about the last relationship, and you gotta. It's like crawling through the mud initially, right? It's like you crawling through the mud, and you just gotta do it, or else what are you gonna do? You're gonna be a victim for the rest of your life. So you just gotta take that action. You just gotta put that effort. एज जितनी निकलती रहेगी और उस टाइम पे सोचोगे एफर्ट डालने का, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज बढ़ जाएंगी, यू वोंट हैव द टाइम.
Alright.
So do it as soon as possible. 28 is a good age. 30 तक get it fixed. 30 के बाद थोड़ी से इश्यूज शुरू हो जाते हैं. 35 के बाद थोड़े और इश्यूज शुरू हो जाते हैं. 40 के बाद बढ़ जाते हैं इश्यूज. और टाइम ऐसे निकलता है. People don't think about it.
Yeah, and eventually we move on.
Yeah.
Then he should watch your videos maybe.
Hmm.
Okay, the last confession. This is Radhika from Hyderabad. She says that he's the type of man you dream of, loyal, genuine, and ready to commit with. But no matter how much I try, I can't bring myself to feel attracted to him physically.
Then leave him instantly.
It leaves. It feels unfair.
I don't
to
even
him.
need to know the other question.
I think this.
I'll tell you where my answer stems from, so you'll have a better understanding. So I was talking to this relationship counselor, or she was saying that 90% of the couples who get back only get back based on physical intimacy. 90% of the divorces that happen out of that 1% total happens because of lack of physical intimacy. That is the biggest reason why people separate, and that is the biggest reason why people come back. तो अगर physical intimacy नहीं है, no point of that relationship.
But it also.
Arranged marriages में काफी problem होती है.
But it also sheds away with time. मतलब at a time you're having a good physical relationship, but after a certain time, because of anybody's issue, when guy girl, you might lose the attraction, or you don't.
Has it happened to you?
Why are you asking me?
You need to experience better relationships.
I'll take those tips from you later.
Yeah.
But as of now, we have to answer this.
No, I don't think it gets withered off with time. I mean, it definitely decreases because the sexual drive decreases with age, but it doesn't get withered away. और intimacy होनी बहुत ज़रूरी है, or else that relationship is not going to survive. 10% cases होते हैं जहाँ पे कर जाता है, तो if you're a unicorn, you maybe can do it. But what's the point? Like even arranged marriages, most of them lack this point because they're just meeting and then getting married, and probably physical intimacy is not there. Then the cheating happens and all of that happens. That's also another side of the story, right?
So how do you think how much physical intimacy matters in a
That
relationship?
depends on your sexual drive. I cannot say
No,
like,
how much the percentage, if you talk about the whole relationship percentage, so what is the percentage of that physical relationship that matters in a relationship? Because I think a relationship is the combination of both physical as well as the
70-80.
emotional.
But it cannot be quantified. But if you ask me, 70-80.
70-80 is
Yeah,
physical.
yeah.
And
Physical intimacy matters
30
most.
to 20 to 30 is emotional.
No, you cannot put it like that. You're putting me in a bad light. See, I'm just saying it cannot be quantified, first of all. Secondly, it's the most important thing in the relationship. That's all. अब physical, emotional, or emotion से physical नहीं better होता. Like if you have emotional investment, your physical intimacy is also more. So it's all related, right?
Okay, but it matters a lot.
It matters the most.
All right. Those were all the confessions. Thank you so much for
Perfect.
answering it. And let's go ahead with another questions.
Sure.
Coming to you back. So as a dating coach, you have helped a lot of people navigating their love lives, their dating lives. But are you walking the talk? I mean, whatever you are telling other people, are you following by yourself when it comes to your personal love life?
I guess I
What do
am.
you follow about?
CQC
One
framework,
common
flirt
thing that your profession and
framework.
personal life shares.
I am walking the talk. Yeah. I think I'm probably the. Never mind. I don't want to say
So
it.
you
I'm going
must
to
be the
disqualify
green
all
flag.
the people in the industry. Yeah, I think I'm probably the only one who's still fucking doing it after a decade and doing it and kept on doing it. I don't think people are extreme like how I am in terms of research and stuff. I am walking the talk. I follow my own advice. Like my frameworks, yes, they
In
work.
case of relationships, just I'm talking about.
अभी मैं काफी time से single हूँ. It's been some time.
I mean, whenever you are having someone in your life.
Yeah, I mean definitely. See, all of it is it's philosophical, right? It's most about like stoicism and how to be more stoic and how to be more complete as a man. So of course I'm following all of that. Discipline.
Discipline. All right. So, your profession in the field is something, which is most of the people, I think everybody's personal life. That is the dating. So, you're working on this as well as, of course, we all have in our personal life. So, does it reflect on your personal life when it comes to your love life personally? Because now
Definitely. Yeah.
because you've studied so many cases, you know a lot of other psychologies and how women thinks and a lot of other things. So do you think now you put some extra addition of thoughts or emotions when it comes to your personal things, or it has affected your personal or love life?
I think it has made me a little bit more numb.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing definitely that has happened. It has made me numb to experiences. Because you see a lot of these negative cases, like around,
Mm-hmm.
say, 200, 300 cases a month, right? And then you don't know what to believe in. That's why we had the psychologist in the US company I was talking about. So it does make you numb,
Mm-hmm.
but you cannot lose hope also. Like, what's life without hope? So in my personal life, it does affect it. Also in the dating aspect, right? Like if I'm meeting a girl and she thinks that, oh, this guy's a dating coach, he'll get any girl. And so commitment phobia रहता है एक लड़कियों का भी. And then for me personally, I've decided when I want to commit. So I've like everything,
Planned.
yeah. Right now is not the time for me. That's what I've decided in my life because my main priority is my work right now. And yeah, I don't want to waste anyone's time. So that's in my head.
Okay. So usually, however, your past relationships have been there, uh, how your girlfriends or the partner used to think and take this thing positively, if they're taking positively, are they actually taking it positively?
So there's a lot of mystical bullshit that spreads around about me because I'm very private in my life.
Okay.
Like Instagram pe bhi abhi, I think I came like a year, 2 years back. We gave it to one of the interns and he did it and it went up to 50, 60K. I was very private, like not replying to people, not talking to a lot of people, focusing on my own craft and stuff. So long-term relationships I've had, most women who get to know me, and if they're not insecure, they feel very secure, right? Because they know that I'm very focused and disciplined. But a girl who's not secure, she would feel that, oh, he's probably hooking up, he's doing that. Because mystical bullshit is also spreading around because if my family is judging me, then think about the others, right?
Yeah.
Like, जब मैं industry में पहले बार आया था, my manager, like my business manager, who's also, a member of the pro thing, he mentioned कि यार मैं तेरे बारे में सुना था कि you drive a Porsche, that's why you get all the girls. I'm like, I wish, bro. That's a good thing. Like, I mean, ठीक है, अच्छी बात है. Then you heard some mystical bullshit about me, which is not relevant. But there's so much bullshit spreading that girl has to be super secure. And then also I think I built trust very fast because my lifestyle is very routine and very disciplined. I think that builds a lot of trust.
So what do you see in a girl when you're looking forward to date? What do you see personally in a girl when you're looking forward to date?
I have some non-negotiables. I don't want to make it public, but a few things like I would tell you on top of my head. She should be into fitness, should be into nutrition, should be passionate about what she does. That I don't want to say it, but I have to say it. That lacks in a lot of specifically Indian women. I've dated girls from all countries, but that lacks because the mindset and the conditioning is like that. That okay, marry a rich guy or whatever. That's
Yeah.
बचपन से सिखाया जा रहा है. So that's a few non-negotiables. Of course, I'm not going to go into list because then it's going to be easy to manipulate me. For the viewers as well, you know, I'm just saying.
Nobody is manipulating you, don't worry.
No, don't worry. I read about this.
Okay, moving ahead. So, what's the most important thing that you have learned from your own dating experiences that also you use while you teach others
One of the most important things that I've learned,
from
I
your
think,
personal?
from I would say one of my ex. So every one of my ex thinks that it's one of her.
Oh, that's a question mark now.
That's a question mark. One of the things I've learned is not to invest too fast in people, and just not to invest too fast. Like, get to know them, understand the beliefs, and then invest as the other person is investing. Don't be over invested. The moment you're over invested, you double down on that investment because you don't want to lose that investment, whether it's emotionally, financially, with time, whatever, right? And फिर तुम over invest करते रहते हो, and then you go in a very downward spiral, and then the other person is in a power position where they can use you for wrong means. Yeah, that's what I've learned. Not to over invest in any relationship. Doesn't matter. It can be the most compatible relationship of my life. The most important relationship is the one I have to myself. Yeah, that's what I learned.
Words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom.
Okay, let's simplify the chaos. What's the biggest red flag and green flag in a relationship, according to you?
I think let's start with the green flag because don't want to start with the negatives first. Green flag में ये है कि so if it's more than in the other person what I feel like if I'm with a person and I want to be my best self, right? That's the biggest green flag. Like if I want to be my best self with the other person, I don't feel like being low vibrational energy, which is basically frustrated, angry, low vibrational energy, then that's a green flag for me. Uske, it's about how she's making me feel rather than उसकी characteristics को judge करना. That's the best. But अगर मैं red flag की बात करूँ, so I think, okay, now let me also tell you a green flag, like if she uplifts people around her, like you can say that, right? But again, if she always uplifts people around her, then that can be also a red flag. क्योंकि वो fake है फिर. She's not being real to you. Right? Or he, whatever. So, red flag की अगर मैं बात करूँ, a person is getting too attached too soon, too quickly. That means they have a void. No matter you try, you cannot fulfill that void. They need to fall in love with their own self first before they get into a relationship. So these are the people you see hopping from relationship to relationship to relationship. Mostly guys के साथ नहीं होता, honestly. It's not I'm taking guys' side, but mostly reason है उसके पीछे. Guys के साथ नहीं होता because we have to live alone. We have to be okay being alone and being miserable alone as well, right? Girls don't. You have a lot of people to talk to. You have guys to talk to. You can share. कुछ गलत नहीं है. That's how the world works. So generally, guys के साथ नहीं होता ऐसा, क्योंकि we learn like how to take care of our own emotions and all of that. Girls के साथ होता है. Also, girls are more emotional. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि they don't learn how to take care of their emotions. Girls do also, but they're more emotional creatures. Guys are more logical and pragmatic.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, looking ahead, what are your plans for the future with the bro thing? What are new projects or events? What new we gotta see with the bro thing?
I mean, a lot of things are in motion right now. A lot of things I cannot disclose because NDAs and stuff. But what I can disclose is there's an application plan, of course, training AI on certain stuff.
And you just reveal you're going into female dating also. I mean, female dating
That was
coaching.
just a joke. I mean, I can try, but abhi nahi, not immediate. Right? Maybe in future, but not immediate. So that plus, of course, the events are going on. Like, see, my whole idea is to educate as many people as I can, and sort of, there's this sort of rape culture that's happening in India. Put an end to it by teaching people about social skills and social calibration. That's the plan, but let's see, it's going to take a lot of time, right? That's the long-term plan. And because India ki image kharab hai. When I was studying abroad in Singapore, people used to be like, oh, you're from the rape capital of the world.
Oh,
yeah.
Really? They said that?
A lot of times.
That's bad.
क्योंकि इंडिया की इमेज खराब मीडिया की वजह से भी है. ये सब होता हर जगह पे है, I guess. Because if you see the statistics, right?
Yes.
This happens everywhere. But मीडिया में यहाँ पे उसी को उछालते हैं क्योंकि वो चीज़ ही ज़्यादा उनको व्यूज़ दे रही है, कुछ कर रहा है. बट उसकी वजह से पूरे वर्ल्ड में इंडिया की इमेज खराब हो चुकी है. पर्सन वेल ट्रैवल्ड विल ऑलवेज अंडरस्टैंड दैट. सो या, दैट्स वन थिंग.
That's a good work then, if you're educating
It's
people.
God's work. It's God's work.
God has sent you, baby.
God has sent me over here.
Okay, moving ahead. Uh, what's your mic drop moment? What do you want to say? Dropping the mic in this conversation.
Do whatever makes you happy. Don't think about the society. Don't think about what people would think. Because if you keep thinking about that, you're always going to protect your image, walk on eggshells, try to protect your small image that you've created. And when you're dying, you'll realize no one gives a shit.
True. Satyavachan.
No one gives a shit. So why protect that image? Just flow, just do you.
The world will adjust.
Whatever makes you happy and is socially calibrated, because always whatever makes you happy is not the best thing for you. तो happiness को भी priority मत दो. मतलब whatever you want to do. अगर तुम्हें दुखी होना है तो तुम दुखी हो.
दुखी हो के खुश हो.
हाँ, emotions को इतनी priority मत दो. Emotions is emotions. वो change होते रहेंगे. What you want should always be decided when you're not emotional.
Okay.
Perfect.
That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
Thanks a lot.
for answering all these questions.
Great.
It was amazing talking to you. That was a deep diving into the conversation, the
Got
dating
some
world,
insights.
dating world, and with you, and learned so many things. And I hope your viewers does the same.
Yeah, I hope you guys learned something from this, and thank you for having me here.